Welcome to Waverly Park for this first round clash in the Ansett Australia Cup between Geelong and the Kangaroos.
First out onto the ground tonight, the Cats, 12th last year from just 9 wins, suffered a lot of injuries. Keen to make amends. It can all start here in the Ansett Australia Cup tonight. We wish them well under their acting skipper, Brad Scholl. And North Melbourne, well, they are the Ansett Australia Cup reigning champions and, of course, runners-up in the home and away. That will be sticking in their core for some time to come. As we welcome you once again to Waverly Park. Good evening, everyone. As we continue our coverage of the Ansett Australia Cup, we go to the bottom half of the draw, and you can see by this match, Geelong and the Kangaroos, the winner tonight to play the winner of tomorrow night's clash, and that is Melbourne and St Kilda. But unfortunately, the thing that everyone is talking about in football at the moment is the incident that occurred at Football Park last night with a big man, number 52 for the Adelaide Crows, Sean Wren. This is just a devastating tragedy, and that is an understatement. Very, very sad to see that happening again to the big man who's had such a wonderful career, but it's been so interrupted by knee reconstructions. Earlier tonight there was a meeting out in the centre of Waverly Park between Ian Collins, the management staff of Waverly, a number of medical people, and afterwards we were able to chat with Ian Collins about this much talked about steel plate with rubber on its top.
And I'm not certain that what was in place in Adelaide is the same as here, which this is a half-inch steel plate with a similar amount of rubber on the top. And the argument is whether, you know, slipping on that will cause, or whether if your boot grips on it is the main cause of an injury, or could cause an injury. And I've just been interested talking to Dr. Hugh Seward just before, and you know, the argument would be that if there's a slipping action, you've got more chance of not doing a bad injury as if it sticks. But I'm certain that you know, what's been happening here has been safe, but it's whether we need them, and that's why talking with Rowan Saws was pretty important, because you know, he's in charge of the umpires, and he indicated to me they never used the disc anyhow. When he was umpiring, he used to bounce alongside it. So, you know, if it's not necessary, well then why have it? So they'll be the sort of things that we'll debate at our footy operations meeting on Monday.
We're going to hear a lot more of that. I think they may disappear. Terry Wheeler, good evening to you.
Good evening, Sandy, and I agree. I think we've seen nearly the last of those pads in the centre of the ground.
I mentioned Brad Scholl is the acting captain tonight because Gary Hocking is not playing, but we are going to speak with him at half-time. A few big names, though, missing from this Cats lineup, but a chance to see some new recruits.
Yeah, and I think that's the spirit of this competition as well, Sandy. They're actually resting Gary Hocking, preparing him for the season, but some new players, Jason Mooney there from the Sydney Swans and number 28, Simon Arnott, both potential goal scorers, and I think that's what Gary Ayres is looking for this year, a multiple goal-scoring attack. And then Scotty Bamford and Tristan Lynch, both from the Brisbane Bears, and then there is David Wojcinski, young player there, number 40.
A big day for John Blakey, a big couple of weeks actually. Of course, he received life membership, and also he now becomes the leading nighttime man, overtaking Chris Langford of Hawthorn and his previous record of 32 games in this competition.
And so we now look at the Kangaroos, and there's Gary Durkay, number 3 from the Fremantle Dockers, and number 23, young Shane Clayton from the Brisbane Bears, Lions, who really does look for an opportunity. Classy little player. And Sandy, there's a surprising one down the bottom there, number 40 at the bottom of the screen.
Could be celebrating a sponsor's birthday, Wayne Carey, with their new sponsor Mazda, and he is wearing, there it is, number 40. Speaking of 40, for those trivia buffs, it is 40 years to the year that Bob Davis was the first special comments man. It was in 1959. He hasn't stopped talking about it for the last hour. We're going to take a break. More shortly from Waverly. Back to Waverly Park. It's a sensational night for football. We'll check the weather out shortly, but a marvellous evening here in Melbourne. The man with one of the biggest jobs in the game is Richard Osborne, because he's paired with the Dipper on the boundary. Great to welcome you, boys, especially you, Aussie, to the
Thanks,
team
Sandy.
in 99. Dipper,
man,
welcome.
Sandy.
Yeah, spot on there, Sandy. It is a terrific night. A big crowd here in attendance tonight also. But Geelong, Richard, you're in the rooms before the game?
Yeah, Gary Ayres, he's got a couple of young kids, and he just said he wanted to see where the Geelong Football Club were at the moment. So hopefully they can put in a performance like the Tigers did the other night, Dipper.
Well, we've got down to business straight away. We've also got Peter McKenna down in the stands. We'll catch up with him later, but that ball passes McGrath. No one able to pick it up cleanly for Geelong. The hand pass for North Melbourne was good. The kick is long up towards the forward line. That was by Adam Simpson, but it's going to be chopped off. He's had a good crowd in attendance here tonight. Kilpatrick has it on the outer side. Picks it up now for the Cats. Bounces it round towards centre wing. Archer comes charging out. We'll be looking for some good form early on. Glenn Archer is a marvellous player to watch. He pounces on that ball, locks it up with 3 Cats surrounding him. And we should also welcome to the microphone, once again, one of the champs of the game, KB. Welcome, KB.
Thanks, Sandy. Looking forward to tonight because I think Geelong's got some fine young players, and the Kangaroos, as we know, they're always ready to play.
Yeah, they look very good. McKernan won the tap out. It was almost thrown out. Bell got slung, loses it. Here's Blakey. He runs towards 50. Let's go with a long drop punt. First score of the night. Johnny Blakey.
Well, what a start for John Blakey. It's been a big week for him tonight. He sets a record at AFL and VFL for nighttime games, passing Chris Langford's 32, also awarding life membership with the AFL during the week. So here he just displays the qualities that John Blakey brings to this side, in that he always sets up behind the line of play and produces run, and more often than not down through the centre of the ground. So that's a great start there to the Kangaroos.
Dippo, you got cut off at the start, but you've got the North bench, my boy.
We have, Sandy, we have Jason McCartney, Robert Scott, Martin Pike, Shane Clayton, Craig Scholl, who plays 200 games tonight for the Kangaroos, and John Longmire, Sandy.
King and Capuano, 2 young guns. I think we'll hear a lot about both of these players. Milburn out of the centre square, kicks hurriedly down towards the half-forward line inside 50. Mighty Mick comes out and fists the ball away. Archer, always cool under pressure. Scholl, caught. Like an attempted trip as well, taken by Bamford. Now, he may have kicked a goal. The umpire is going to bring the ball back. Now, they're indicating a goal was kicked by Bamford.
Glenn Archer really needs to be careful with that. There's no doubt that that was a deliberate attempted trip. You can hear the umpires there clearly now, indicating it.
Here. No, it was wrong. I thought it was 50. Sorry.
So, a 50-metre penalty.
Just be careful.
This makes it a certainty for the Cats.
Come back, come back, come back. Come back, Archer.
So, Scholl, acting captain tonight, will pop this through, and scores will be level.
So Brad Scholl, as Kevin just indicated, the acting captain here tonight, he does often go into the forward line, more known as the back pocket, but has been quite creative at half forward. There's the incident there. Glenn Archer has actually gone past Scholl and thrown out the right foot. That's a deliberate act of trying to trip the player. So the free kick and the 50-metre penalty were awarded. Scholl, bit of a grin on his face. He's pretty happy with that. Gets his first and the Cats first.
Good start for John Blakey. Good start for Brad Scholl. That Geelong bench, Aussie, you've got it there.
Thanks, Sandy. Lowther, Corrigan, Wojcinski, Wood, Lynch and Lindsay.
Thanks, Aussie. Look forward to seeing David Wojcinski a little bit later on. Some fairly big reps on him as well. Capuano trying to do the ruck work in the middle. Riccardi caught, ripped to the ground by Simpson. No one able to get it out cleanly. Look at that tackling. It is fierce early on. Peter Bell's in there for North Melbourne.
There's no real warm-ups in these types of games, is there, Sandy? The North Melbourne, they've played a couple of good, solid practice matches leading into this, and so they're right for the start of it, and they're being very aggressive. And you hear umpire John Harvey there very clearly telling all the players he's going to throw the ball up.
Well, the Roos no doubt have a point to prove, whether it's in this competition or in the home and away. I'd say they'd be still very, very dissatisfied at the end of last season. Here's Arnott with his new side. Quick hand pass was shot out from Ronnie Burns. The Cats go forward again, up towards left half forward. Coming out was Lynch, couldn't take it cleanly. Bell's been in everything early, goes short, that's okay. And he finds Grant. He's called to play on, ripped from behind, loses the football. Also in trouble was Pickett. Eventually comes to King. David King has a look up towards half forward. McGrath is in front for the Cats. Fists it down in front. This has been a very good start. Number 29 is young Brent Harvey. He goes down towards the forward line, down towards Gary Durkay. Beaten for it on this occasion, but he's got support in Welch. Bends it round for North Melbourne and has kicked a beauty. Nothing like a bit of theatre. Give us the all clear.
Well, this game really has got some pace on early. Geelong, a good push forward. Simon Arnott there being involved from half-back, getting up, but then North Melbourne being able to rebound. It was King who got it out clear to Harvey, and then the quick kick into the forward line. And here's Scotty Welsh, a player, a dozen games last year. He's in his 4th season here, and a good get. And Pete McKenna, you were right behind that one.
Yes, and they're going with an interesting forward line, the Kangaroos. They've got 2 small players, Welsh and Gary Durkay, and of course Carey and McKernan swooping around that half forward line. It's a very dangerous forward line, this Kangaroos one.
Capuano got his hands on the ball first. Grant still inside the centre square. Arnott has the ball, fisted away. McKernan taken away by Melbourne. A hurry kick back towards centre half forward. Mighty Mick may have shoved out. Hall, and the free kick goes to Hall. Takes a lot of marks, plays in front. Very important player to the Cats forward line. Finds Arnott. With the Sydney Swans last year. Playing in front was Lynch. Caught one high. There was no free kick. Archer came through hard. Trickles over the boundary for a throw-in.
He's there on time.
Well, there was a chance there. Really, the clean hands
that
were
had
there,
to be a free kick, surely.
I think so too, because there was a drop of the shoulder and the body really strongly and firmly into the back of the player in front.
Well, Lynch stood his ground. Bamford takes it from Mooney. Both combining their first game with the Cats. Chance for Pickett. The Norwich rising star just ambles to the ball. Comes away from the back pocket. Goes short and finds Blakey. Kicked the opening goal of the match. It's 33rd night game tonight. Pre-season games. That's a record from Chris Langford. He's off and running. He feels hot. Couldn't quite get his hands onto the ball. Taken away by Hall inside the centre square. Here come the Cats. Deep in the forward line. Sets it up to Lynch. Great play by Pickett. Magnificent anticipation. And has taken a wonderful grab.
That is inspiring football from young Byron Pickett.
Sensational play. Burns, but in front is Bell. He's had a good start, Peter Bell. Goes with the left foot. Shannon Grant's covering plenty of territory for the Kangaroos. Looks up towards the forward line once again. They're looking pretty dangerous early on. Harvey, still a long way from home. Swings around now. Puts them inside 50. Welsh is there, but he's given a nudge.
Young Scarlett, interesting with the father and son, of course, from John Scarlett.
Look at this again. The flying Pickett.
Let it go, Gary! Gary!
Wonderful stuff.
Yeah. Paul Lynch really just thought it was coming to him. He had no idea that Pickett was bearing down so viciously on him.
Gary!
And Pickett did well. No body contact, all at the ball.
McGrath from halfback just comes, lopes across the ground. They're able to swing it up towards centre wing, towards Derek Hall. Caught one, and he's going to get a free kick. Mickey's not at all happy about that.
Hall does that well, Terry. Leads out in front.
Yes.
He's a very strong mark overhead.
Yeah, for a man of his height, I mean, he's not a real tall player, but he has got a good jump about him and attacks the ball.
Kicks towards the centre wing. Melbourne was one of the players who drifted down, and the other one was Jason Mooney. Going to be interesting to see how the ex-Sydney Swan goes with his new club. Well, if kicking's any indication, that was very, very good. And the Cats now have an opportunity of their second with Jason Snell. Well within distance, but on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, Jason Mooney does well here because he's a natural left footer, and he was being squeezed and squeezed. He had one look to try and get back on the left, then decided he couldn't, so committed to the right foot and just controlled it, put a bit of height into the kick and gathered some good distance to find Snell in the forward pocket.
40 metres out, 45-degree angle. Good-looking kick from Snell. The Cats answer again.
Well, Derek Hall has been good across half forward there. He's had his 3 kicks to date. He has Mickey Martin on him, and that's a big assignment for any forward. But if Hall continues to lead up at the ball, he's going to get Mick out in a little bit of space. And, you know, whether Mick's vulnerable there, I'm not prepared to say that, but he's not as comfortable, I don't think. And from Hall then to Mooney, up to Snell for a goal. The Cats are doing very well in this opening part of the quarter.
Gary is in the coach's box. Be very happy with Snell, the youngster from Upway. He's been threatening for the last couple of years to be a real good player for the Cats. On the forward line, here's Riccardi. Just pumps the ball back. Standing his ground was Archer. Mighty Mick, hurried kick back towards the half-back line, taken by Blakey. Some early touches. then just pumps the ball back towards centre half forward. McKernan's in his sights, and he's got it in front of Graham. Graham's got McKernan. McGrath's got Carey. And there's Carey now. He pushes off McGrath, sets it up in front. McGrath, the big fist away. Sanderson, ever reliable. Tumbles the ball back out of defence. He was looking for Ronnie Burns. Graham's caught by Winston Abraham, taken by Bell. Feeds it off to Blakey again. Belts the ball back to the square. Carey pushing and shoving. Great fist away by Melbourne. Great defensive play. And through for a minor score.
KB Blakey started like a teenager.
Yes, well, he's played, what, 274 day games. This is his 33rd pre-season night game. What a pick-up he was from Fitzroy.
Here's Ben Graham to bring it back into play. Had horrendous injuries last year. The elbow, I think it was, kept him out for the latter half of the season almost. They had a long list of injuries, so let's hope for Ben Graham and the Cats that things are going to be on the improve in 99.
Johnny, your ball!
John Blake, here he is again.
Oh. He's a very popular life member of the AFL, Johnny Blakey, isn't he?
Well, it's great to see. Gives it off towards King. King goes long, straight, and goals.
Well, there's no doubt about that. David King coming off half-back. If ever an opposition side to your side and being North Melbourne get the ball at half-forward, you must man up David King because he's just going to charge on through. Johnny Blakey knew he was coming in. King kicks a long football from outside 50. He's a very, very dangerous player, very accurate, and that's a set play and one that opposition sides really need to judge and read and lock David King down very, very quickly.
Dennis Pagan there, and Bomber Thompson there as well, along with Tony Elshaw. 19 plays 12. Kilpatrick, hands and knees, slaps it out to King. Got a fine future. Anderson has a fresh air shot. Again, Capuano tries to force the ball out. Great tackle by Kilpatrick. Bundling the ball along is King, does it well. Ducking his head was Johnny Blakey. And he'll get another free kick.
He was down there with the ball. He didn't go.
So he's had, this will be his sixth possession. He's had 2 marks. He's kicked 1-1.
Still on a pike.
The back half of the square. Kicks down towards the half-forward line. Fisted away that time by Graham. Bell pounced on it. Goes short. Reading it well as McGrath came out in front of Carey. Feeds the ball back off to Arnott, who goes out wide. Sets it up. Bamford waits for the bounce. At his 3rd league club to the half-forward line. Mooney, an important player for the Cats. Couldn't take it on the second grab. King again defending strongly. Just bounces the ball out to Johnny Blakey. He's got the ball on a string. Rockets the ball to Grant, who pumps the ball out wide. Taken by Simpson inside the centre square. Back to the half-forward line. McKernan in front. Slapped away. Kilpatrick the crummer. Tries to feed it out. It's taken by Abraham. Gives it back to Anderson. Long pop shot at goal. It's not going to bounce through. In fact, it's going to trickle over the line for a boundary throw-in.
And this is where Gary has got a problem with Johnny Blakey, that it's Ronnie Burns that he's standing, and Ronnie Burns trying to create something offensively. He's trying to sneak off, but Blakey just reading the ball so much better.
Down in that forward line there also is Peter McKenna, Pete.
Yes, Sandy, 3 times it's come down in the direction of Wayne Carey, and Geelong get numbers back, and they're double teaming him under strict instructions.
Arnott's clearing kick as far as Capuano back into the forward line once again. Here's an opportunity now for North. Winston goes in towards goal, wobbles it along the ground, and it is 1 behind only. In fact, that's Gary Durkay at his new club. We wish him well, the ex-Docker. Good luck at North with the Kangaroos. Ball is on half-back at the moment, and it's with Clint Bizzle. For the Cats, may go in towards centre half-back again, and does to Graham. A thumpy kick if he gets onto it, but he doesn't. Elects to take the hand pass. That was off towards Scarlett. Now towards Hall. Hall has a look in towards the middle. It's okay for Kilpatrick. Still on the defensive side of centre is Glenn Kilpatrick for the Cats. Goes wide to the outer side. Got a couple of players running down. Snell is one of them. This looks dangerous. The Cats are building here. Mensch pops it over the top. Tries to. It's going to be okay. It was touched. Lynch recovers well. Snaps at goal for the Cats and it's put through. Paul Lynch gets his first. Good first quarter here at Waverly.
And that was a good piece of play. The ball gets centred in here to Kilpatrick right in the centre of the ground, and then switches on out wide, the halfback running down. That committed the North defender. He left Mensch, went forward to try and shut it off. Mensch was free, got squeezed a little bit by Byron Pickett. He was prepared to attack it, but finally over to Lynch, and you can see that Pickett, they're very, very disappointed with the outcome of it.
Paul Lynch is a very good player, Terry. They lost him a couple of years ago when they got beaten that final over in Adelaide. He's bouncy, he's strong, takes a mark, he's very mobile, and he's hard to man up. The only problem is he has a lot of injuries.
He does have a lot of injuries, isn't it? And just a quality player, and that really does dictate a lot of a football season as to who gets injuries. And Lynch is one they really like to keep up, because we all know he's a very talented player in and around the goals.
Hamstrings and back injuries. Melbourne out of the centre square, playing in front was Mensch. Might have been dragged to the ground by Hewitt, taken away by King. He always kicks the ball long, directly down towards Carey. McGrath's done well, playing in front again. Couldn't quite get around, loses it. Welsh tries to handball it off. Chance for Simpson, kicks it off the ground. He's got Ansett to beat. Got a shove out. They should force the ball over the line. Hall does well to retain it. The free kick is going to Harvey.
Give it to
With a
him.
push. Here the umpire, give it to him quickly. Real goal sneak, Harvey. He's got 5 goals a couple of times in AFL football, centres the ball. Durkay, got it. You could see he had the run at that one, Terry.
Just sometimes one player gets the judgment of the ball just perfectly, and this one, I mean, Gary Durkay really is going to add something to this forward lineup, I think, here with North Melbourne. I mean, just floats in on over. Ben Graham, a big man, but was caught in the wrestle there with Corey McKernan, and Gary Durkay just keeping the eyes on the ball all the way and cleanly into the hands.
Inconsistent player with the Dockers, often found himself on the interchange bench. Directly in front, Gary Durkay, with those silky skills, has popped it through.
Yeah, Gary Durkay did have some bench time over the Dockers, but I think what we may see is a bit of a change in Gary, as perhaps we did see with Winston Abraham. When Winston came over and got into a real football cultural environment, and North Melbourne definitely is that. There's no individual play in the North Melbourne side. They really do lock down and do the job. Now, Gary Durkay could bring some very, very good skills to this lineup as well.
Brad Allison looks on. One of North's veterans. Yes, Durkay could add some real spark to this North lineup. With he and Winston Abraham firing, they could be quite a deadly duo. Let's see what unfolds as the season progresses. It goes towards half forward. Graham was the spoiler from behind. Harvey picks up the crumbs, shoots towards goal. North extends their lead. Harvey gets his first.
Well, they've really jumped now, the Kangaroos. Their work out of the centre. Harvey's been very, very busy. He's right in amongst it all. He started well early. He's had 4 kicks here to date. But a class player can just read the ball, and this young man does do that very, very well. He reads that contest and finishes it off. Player who's come through the ranks, actually won the Ron James medal way back in 1995, and so a player who was stamped early in his career and is now starting to really deliver for the Roos.
And being a small player, Terry, it's important he's a goal kicker, and that's what he is.
Just like the times I chased you, KB.
Craig Scholl preparing to come on. We'll see who comes off. Riccardi tries to get it out of the middle for Katz. Gives it away towards Arnott. He gets kicked down towards Lynch. He's at half forward. Moves pretty quickly, does Paul Lynch. Paul caught behind. Loses it. Blakey. Just about best on ground in this first quarter. Bell also has been busy. Here's David King. Here's ruthless. Here's determined. North out of trouble once again. Back towards the half-back flank. And the mark taken by Brady Anderson. Has a look towards Carey, wearing the unusual number 40. Gives the hand pass out, put his teammate under the gun a bit. And Tim McGrath locks him up. And there is absolutely no way known that Martin Pike was going anywhere.
32 plays 18. The Kangaroos in control. Graham couldn't bend down to pick it up. Here comes Carey out in front of McGrath. Ball chips up towards Scholl, who goes short. Puts Anderson under pressure. He's been caught by Winston Abraham. Here's Durkay. Bang, crashes into Snell, who does well and recovers. looks for support from Melbourne. He's all tied up. And they ball it up just 15 metres out.
Gee, that was a big call there.
Goal.
Sorry, Kay, but a big call from Brad Scholl there to bring the ball back in front of the opposition goal, only some 35 metres out. It wasn't as good as he wanted to be, and the Geelong are really under the pressure here now.
King too tall that time for Carey, and the short kick's been marked by Kilpatrick. So some run out of defence for the Cats. Sanderson from the half-back line, pumps it out towards centre wing. He had no player to kick it to. McKernan can just amble to the ball and trap it. Got support from Mighty Mick. Handball's out in front. Didn't even have to break stride. McKernan drills it. Durkay looks sharp. It's a wild hand pass. Scholl will clean up in the defensive 50. Again, towards the wing. It's all North Melbourne. McKernan couldn't hang on to the mark. Does well at ground level. Blakey had a fantastic opening quarter. Happy to take Hall on. He's got run in the legs. Passes back to Scholl. They concede ground. There's a player down as Winston Abraham pumps it to the square. Some pushing and shoving, and the mark's been taken by Welsh. He looks a player, Peter McKenna.
He certainly does, Kevin, and you see Mick Martin on screen being attended, but going with these two small forwards, obviously they're a bit disappointed in their forward during the finals, Kevin, and Craig Scholl starting on the bench and not starting on the ground was a little bit surprising.
So Welsh from point-blank range pops it through. North Melbourne's 6th goal for the quarter. He's got 2.
Yep, 6 for the quarter, and have kicked now the last 3 of the quarter. And so with only just under 3 minutes of play left in this opening part of the game, North really have taken control. Just the last few minutes, Corey McKernan has started to really influence the game. Geelong have tried to attack through the outer side of the ground, and McKernan has propped himself out there, just charging at the ball there. His involvements will become critical as this game wears on.
Takes a lot to knock Mickey Martin around. He's up, appears to be okay. Scotty Welsh has kicked his second. And North Melbourne extend their lead 6-2 to 3. 20 points is the margin with 3 minutes or so remaining. Martin Pike, like a terrier, beaten on this occasion, however, by Melbourne. Picks it up, floating kick up towards the half-forward line. Bell couldn't take it. King, a hurried kick, comes back towards half-back. Scholl gets a favourable bounce, picks it up now, goes in towards the pocket. Lynch is going to have to move. He won't get there in time. Oh, testing the old hammies. And let's hope he's okay. Had a wretched run. Throw in the left forward pocket for the Cats. They trail by 20 points. Mooney trying to do the ruck work. Scholl gets caught. Eludes a couple from 50 metres out. Bangs one in towards goal. This could sail over the top. Which way will it bounce? On behind.
Slip back. Slip back.
Stephen King. Good crowd here tonight at Waverly. It's just an absolutely perfect night. Geelong, although it's been a good first quarter, see themselves down by 19 points.
Let's go!
And away we do go. The flyer was Clint Bizzle. Couldn't take the mark. Corey McKernan gets a hurried kick, only as far as King. Scoops it out of the air, gives it to Mooney. He kicks under pressure, but the mark, Lux of Fortune, taken by Lynch. Called to play on and does so. Again, puts his teammate under real pressure. Gets a kick up towards the half-forward line. Oh, it's a steely defence. Glenn Archer is one of the leaders.
Ben Graham was standing still, Terry.
Yeah, you don't give it on that. You need someone running and powering through that line there to be able to give it off to. A bad choice there by Paul Lynch.
Anderson was looking for Welsh, who's already booted a couple of goals for the Kangaroos. The Cats come forward. King with strength. Good interception that time by Kilpatrick, forces it back over the line.
And the sort of run that we see from David King is the sort of run that all clubs need. You need to be aggressive when you go. You make up your mind and head down, bum up and charge through the lines. Geelong didn't have that there with the Lynch and the Ben Graham interchange.
Kangaroos by 19 points. Anderson this time finds Carey, 55 metres out from goal, centres the ball. So the race is on. Scholl. Rotating players through full forward, back to Welsh directly in front. His 3rd goal coming up. He's off target. Went through for a behind.
You ask the question, Sandy, don't you? How can a forward get free like that right in front of goal? It was a bad miss from Scotty Welsh. He should be able to put those away. He's shown already tonight. He's picked up 2 goals in this opening quarter, and that one dead in front should have been nailed. But North just starting to get away from their opponents just a little too easily in these last minute or so of the first quarter.
Just over a minute remaining. Key takes the Benny Graham kick out. Really no wind to speak of. So there's no real advantage to either side. Melbourne gets the hand pass away towards Sanderson. He looks up towards Martin, who's dashing in the front of Derek Hall, who was his target. And it's Martin who sees it over the line. Copped a heavy one early, but he's okay. The singing full forward is out there again. Peter McKenna. Pete?
Good on you, Sandy. Geelong a little bit worried about young Scarlett being on Welsh. They've moved him off him, and Ben Graham's gone deep into defence where he normally plays.
Archer, beautiful use of the body. Swings it round towards Anthony Stevens, who's on the centre wing. Stevens towards Welch, under pressure to get the hand pass away. McGrath also feeling the pinch. McKernan sockets it clear. It's going to give Hall a chance to get the hand pass away towards Scholl. Scholl from the middle. Goes short. Blakey couldn't take it, but look at the dashing David King. Away he goes. Scrappy old kick onto the left foot. King unable to take it cleanly. Welch tries to soccer off the ground. So did Stevens. Here's Arnott. His hand pass is going to be okay. Geelong under pressure. Bizzle on the last line of those hand passes. He goes wide and he finds McGrath. But the siren is going to be him. Geelong defending grimly as North Melbourne make a pretty positive start here. Remembering, of course, they are the reigning champions as far as the Ansett Australia Cup is concerned. And they've opened up a handy lead with goals from Gary Durkay, John Blakey, Brett Harvey, David King. All those players have singles, and Scotty Welsh has 2. For Geelong, Snell, Scholl and Lynch are their goal kickers. A break. More shortly from Waverly.
Back to the action. It's the second quarter between the Cats and the Roos from Waverly.
Yes, a very good first quarter here at Waverly in this first round match. The winner to meet the winner of the Melbourne St Kilda clash. That's tomorrow night, but it's the Kangaroos hopping mad. 6-3, 39, 20-point leaders over the Cats, 3-1-19. It's going to be a new look record this year. It is the AFL record. We remember it well when it doubled in price to tuppence back in 1919. But, gee, things have come ahead in leaps and bounds, KB. You've still got your first one?
I can't quite remember back in 1919, Sandy, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, that it is. It's a new look AFL record. You can watch out for it and get your copy right here at the Ansett Australia Cup. Nice up there tonight. The Whitman's lightship just circling Waverly. Great spot to be. If you're not up there, great to be down on the ground like Dipper and Aussie, boys.
It certainly is, Sandy. Well, some bad news from the Geelong bench, Richard.
Yeah, I had a good look at Paul Lynch in the huddle there. He was behind a bit, stretching his hamstring. He looks pretty upset. I dare say he's pulled that hamstring again.
It's not good news for him because obviously over the last couple of years he's had those hamstring problems. But North Melbourne, fantastic forward play up there. There's no one standing still in their forward line. There's players always running in and running out. There's plenty of space for players to run in to kick those goals.
Yeah, and I think Geelong just need to work on their foot skills going into the forward line at the moment, Dick.
That's one thing Gary did say at pre-season. They wanted to practice on their fitness and their foot skills, and unfortunately tonight they let them down.
Well, we'll see what happens, boys. Thank you, Aussie and Dipper, as the second quarter gets underway. Peter Bell is at the bottom of the pack. Sanderson there in the 27 strip for the Cats. Umpires are John Harvey, Darren McCauley and Derek Woodcock. There goes Bell again. Kilpatrick right there with him. Bell flicks it across to Glenn Archer. Across half back, he goes wide to the outer side. Scholl is there. Arnott is showing plenty of opposition, but Winston Abraham gives him good support, puts the hand pass back inside. Melbourne first to it for Geelong. Goes back, an opportunity now for Geelong to go deep into their forward line. Up towards centre half forward. Target was Mensch. He was unable to take it cleanly. The big man goes ahead, puts his body over the ball. They pounce on him. And David Mensch is like the bottom layer of a sandwich. Picks himself up.
There's Paul Lynch, obviously with an injury, a leg injury, Sandy. We mentioned before he's a very good player, but he's had a lot of rotten luck with injuries. important to the Cats. Blakey has been outstanding tonight. Tapped out by Mooney. They pile on top. Loose ball. Going to ground was Pickett. Did well. Kilpatrick. Great vision out to Mensch, who runs into the open goal and should kick it. And he has.
Clear.
Well, the pattern of play wasn't a clean and crisp piece, but in actual fact, the endeavour from the Geelong players was right in there at the ball, and that's what Gary Ayres would have wanted at quarter time. He would have been very disappointed with the latter part of that first quarter and wanted a much more committed effort from the players. And here you can see here, all the Geelong players are hard in at it, and eventually it spun on out, and David Mensch, who last year proved to be a very good player, had a tough summer contractually there. He was hopped around a little bit,
but Collingwood,
yes, but has now settled back here with Geelong, and I'm sure all the Cat fans are happy about that one.
25 plays 39. Let's see if they can continue to close the gap. Pike, an effective tackler, always very strong in that department. Riccardi, hand passes okay towards Kilpatrick, back again towards Peter Riccardi, stabs it down towards the forward line. Sanderson goes dashing through, tries to elude one, won't elude John Blakey. Well tackled. Opens the door for Mickey Martin. Martin pumps it back towards centre wing. Oh, Carey! The lazy one-hander. Picks it up quickly, wobbles a punt, trying to get that ball moving as quickly as he possibly can. Hand pass is shot at now. Comes the way of Simpson. Centering towards half forward. Durkee takes the crumbs now. Here's Gary Durkee. First one way, then the other. Flicks it in towards full forward. But the mark is taken by Ansett.
He's been a pretty fair player tonight in his debut for the Cats. King, the young giant. Big future for Stephen King. Durkee's been pretty handy tonight as well. Sets it up. McKernan inside 50. Let's put it through for a behind.
That's what one thing, as we mentioned at quarter time, that Gary has been disappointed about. Just some of the foot skills there. Certainly turned the ball over around at the half-back line for Geelong tonight.
You can't beat attacking the football. While all those other players underneath you are wrestling and pushing and shoving, have eyes only for the ball and charge at it. Wayne Carey did it very, very well then.
Kangaroos by 15 points. Ben Graham, who's a thumping kick, just guides this one down, looking for Hall. Cop one in the back. Advantage has been paid. Mooney comes away with the ball, runs through the centre square. A casual bounce, rockets the ball wide, finds Scholl, who's got Stevens as his opponent, chips it in short. This is good play by the Cats, and he finds Corrigan. And Pete McKenna, he's replaced Lynch at full forward.
Okay.
Pete, he's replaced Lynch at full forward.
Probably being mobbed.
Yes, trouble there with Pete McKenna and his...
Yes, Sandy, they're going, Geelong are going with a similar forward setup to North Melbourne. Two small players up there, and Ronnie Burns and Paul Corrigan, and the two bigger guys up around half forward.
Well, Corrigan has come off the interchange bench and from 45 metres out has drilled it.
Well, Gary Ayres has gone for that shorter structure. He really has to be able to manufacture some goals from somewhere. Ronnie Burns hasn't had any influence just yet. Spinks isn't playing. It was the equal leading goal scorer last year with Burns down at Geelong. So it becomes down to these smaller players to be able to chip the ball around and set something up. If you're going to chip the ball around, you might as well have Brad Scholl there, because he does it very well, just as that one there indicated. Corrigan right in the front and centre position.
Well, the early stages of this second quarter certainly belong to Geelong. Ball of play on out of the middle. Riccardi twisting and turning, weaving. He gets it down towards half forward. Blakey had it and lost it. Was able to give it away eventually to support to Anthony Stevens. Stevens looks down towards the 50. Down towards Carey and co. Can't take it. Bizzle gets the hand pass out towards Graham. Hurried left foot kick. Great interception. Should result in a goal. And doesn't. Martin.
It's the second one from Geelong. We saw one early in the first quarter where Brad Scholl defensively took the ball back inside the danger zone out in front of goal, and now we have Ben Graham doing it. When you're under the pressure and you're within 40 yards of your defensive goal, you don't mess around. You kick it and get it well wide or right down the centre of the ground, not chipping in the centre.
Straight down the middle this time. Carey, one of the flyers from the back. The call was to play on. Arnott gives the hand pass out towards Riccardi, put him under the pump a bit. Socket off the ground down towards the 50. Sanderson couldn't take it cleanly. Could have been held was Harvey. Carey wearing that number 40 strip. Gets the hand pass out. He wanted Scholl. McGrath body over the ball. Scholl goes again. McGrath is right there with him. And there'll be a bounce. It's Winston having a spell. Shannon Grant.
Kangaroos by 10 points. Geelong have looked fairly sharp in the early stage of this second term. Here's Shane Clayton, also formerly of Brisbane, pumps the ball back. Big fist away that time by King, but the free kick has been given away and it will go to McKernan.
So McKernan and Graham were the two players in there wrestling. I didn't quite see the free kick, but if we get another look at it, I think we'll see that Graham from behind really interferes there with Corey McKernan, who then couldn't attack the ball, and he was impeded, therefore the free kick given to him.
And young Clayton had big raps when he went up to Brisbane as a young player. Son of Ian Clayton, the former AFL umpire, so he gets a second crack at it. McKernan, again, a poor kick off target and through for a minor score. So a wasted opportunity for North Melbourne.
Well, they've wasted a few, haven't they? 6-6. They wasted a few on that one day in September too. Dare I mention it?
Yep, that will haunt them for a long time to come. There's the free kick, and really, when Corey McKernan was kicking from 40 metres out, not an angle to speak of. He should have put that one away without any doubt.
Graham heads towards Mooney, one of the new recruits. He's unable to take it, but just pushes it down in front. Now Bamford may be on the end of this on centre wing. There's a chance here because he's got Scholl running with him. The acting captain for the night goes in towards full forward. Not a good kick, however, and Martin takes an easy mark. Goes across the ground, finding Pickett. Nice elusive skills by Pickett to kick it back towards the half-back line. Riccardi. Called to play on, and the ball was touched, so he chips it in towards Mensch. Drops what he should have taken, but the whistle had sounded. Perhaps a little fortunate, and David Mensch will go back from 55 metres. Let's go with a long, high bomb. And away to the left, one behind.
Clear. Don't ask me, Belly.
Don't ask me, Belly. The umpire's mic. 5-2 to 6-6. David King to bring it back in. Straight down the middle to Glenn Archer. He's called to play on. You could hear the umpire. Play on Arch. So he does. Towards centre wing. Good mark, however, taken by Snell. Kicked a goal in the first quarter, Jason Snell. Just comes in towards the middle. Finds McGrath. Short again, Ronnie Burns.
Back a metre! Back a metre!
You can just sense down here, Sandy, Geelong's intensity has just lifted a notch in this second quarter.
Yeah, I think you're right, Ozzy. I think the umpires' voices have too.
Can you turn him down, please, Sandy?
Down here.
It's a nightmare.
Back a metre, Steve-O!
I think you're saying, Steve, I go back a metre. Scholl. Looking at Rowan Saws in there next door. He's having a good old smile. Nice to see Rowan happy, actually.
That's right.
And now we got David Mensch.
Thank you, Raj.
He's really started to create something across the half-forward line, Mensch. His mobility will often worry opposition sides. And again, it's Scholl. He's using the ball so very well. He's matched with Anthony Stevens, who we heard the umpire describe to us a little earlier. Stevens only had 2 disposals. Scholl's had some 8 or 9, and really they're being quality ones. He's the key to this side at the moment.
Mensch for his second this quarter. 40 metres out. Lovely looking kick. He's got it.
So Geelong, more often than not, they've been setting up from wide out on the wings. They've had a couple of bursts through the centre of the ground. Jason Mooney gave them one earlier, but more often than not, they've come wide and found Scholl around half forward, who then chips the ball into the setup right in front of goal. This time it was big Mensch, who's been very, very agile in there, creating something there with Evan Hewitt. A little bit of pressure on the young Roo.
Kangaroos goalless this quarter. The Cats have booted 3. Here's King eyeing off McKernan. McKernan got his hands on the ball first. Bamford beaten by Simpson, who tries to kick it off the ground. Riccardi runs into his teammate there as Bamford feeds the ball out wide. Taken away by Kilpatrick, heads towards the boundary line. Mighty Mick there, along with Stevens.
That was certainly a clever kick there,
the
Kevin. Sorry, Kevin. There was a clever kick there. Obviously, no Geelong player in within 30 metres, so he went straight for the bound Geelong. Well done, then.
Well, Stevens is off, Terry,
yes,
playing on Shoal, and you've mentioned
Shannon Grant. No, it's
Scott.
Robbie Scott. Robbie Scott's gone in to take him.
But Shoal, such an important player for the Cats tonight, and Anthony Stevens has been benched.
And you'll also watch for the maturity of Brad Shoal coming. I mean, he is the acting captain out there tonight, Kevin, in the absence of Gary Hocking and Lee Colbert, obviously. So he's taken that responsibility on, and he's leading his side very well at the moment.
Macca, your thoughts?
Yes, I think, Sandy, that Gary Ayres had to really look carefully over the summer at this Geelong forward line. They were a low-scoring side last year, and those two small forwards will make a big difference.
Blakey, let's go with a big bomb. Here's Carey, the king, outside 50. Danger here for the Cats. Grant's got it.
It was just a sensational kick by Wayne Carey. Pinpoint, Wheels.
Great. He does well on the turn too, doesn't he? I mean, he's a big man, but just the agility. Had a look up, saw the target, and got in well to Shannon Grant.
Always plenty of players, Terry, moving in that forward line, running in. There's no one standing there.
Well, he's a very accurate kick, Shannon Grant. Just about the most accurate kick in the competition last year, Terry. And we go on to percentage between goals and behind. So Grant, and if you give him a wrap, of course, they will miss it. But he's popped it through for one behind. Maybe last year was his all of his eggs in the one basket.
That's right, yeah. The 46 goals, 16 accounted for everything last year. Just a little bit shaky early in this 1999 season.
6-7. So they've added 4 behinds so far in this term. As you can see, Daniel Lowther coming on to the ground. Snell. Kilpatrick.
Hocking right there!
Affectionately known as Oysters. Comes towards the half-back line. And there is Lowther. Daniel Lowther called to play on. Not a good kick, but great interception by Brent Harvey. He gives it to Robert Scott, the former Cats. He kicks up towards half forward. Finds a McKernan. Looks to be in somewhat of a hurry. Corey heads for home. A long bomb up towards the forward line. And pushed over the line eventually by Bizzle.
Sandy, we see Matthew Capiano on the ground for the first time tonight. North are certainly using their bench. It is a star-starter bench tonight, and already they've used the bench 12 times to Geelong 2.
Thank you, Dipper.
That's it, Pack!
Left forward pocket. Here's Robert Scott, almost taken high. In fact, was, said the umpire. King a little too enthusiastic. So Robert Scott,
Push out, man.
who's just come onto the ground.
Yeah, Big King just needs to get down that little bit lower. It's always hard to man that size tackling the smaller player, but technically you do need to drive in hard around the hips. That's where you need to go at the football shorts. Stephen King much too high, and Scott with a chance. Brad Shoal won't be too happy because it's his opponent.
Scott's second kick, it's only just come on. Makes no mistake. North finally get one in the second quarter.
Yeah, well, Robert Scott really, against Brad Shoal here now, they're both swap clubs, and it's been good for both players without doubt. I mean, Robert Scott has served the Cats very well for a long time. Here, just getting in there underneath there, King nowhere near the tackle that he should be. He needs to go down much lower than that. Scott, give him a chance like that. He won't miss them at all.
So Dennis Pagan be pretty happy with that move, with Stevens off and Scott on. Resulted in a goal.
It's always good when that happens, isn't it, KB?
Shows you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Kilpatrick outside the centre square, pumps it inside 50. Mooney, who looks okay tonight, should be a big bonus for the Cats. Coming through hard was McCartney. Started on the interchange bench. He's hit the deck. Pickett tried to juggle the ball. Going to ground was Clayton. So McCartney is still on the ground. Pickett will take the free kick. See Jason Mooney there with that big hip and shoulder. Has decked him. Archer in the back pocket. Kangaroos by 11 points. Kicks a high ball back towards the point of the centre square. Coming out in front was Blakey. His first mistake, make that Simpson. Feeds the ball back off to Scott. A bit of run through the centre of the ground. Scarlett got the fist away. Pounced on by Snell. Thumps the ball back inside 50. Here's a chance for Ronnie Burns. Pushed under the ball. Also, the free kick will go to Burns. And McCartney is being taken off by 2 trainers.
Possibly not too sure which ground he's at the minute, but I'm sure Dipper and Ozzy will get onto it.
And that was a heavy hip and shoulder from Mooney.
John, you're right.
Ronnie Burns. This will be his first kick of the night.
Start a kick.
Should kick a goal. He's 45 metres out directly in front. And it's a bad kick.
Yeah, Ronnie was a little bit proppy in his approach to it there. I don't think he was running strongly enough in his stride. Here's McCartney going down. Mooney had everything right. He had the elbow tucked in and the collision was made. It's up to the umpire to decide whether it was too high. I think Jason McCartney would have something to say that it might have been just a tad high.
David King's kick out is perfect. Finding Abraham almost down to the middle. It's a long kick again. 2 kicks. They're almost down to Carey. He needs support, and it comes in the form of Peter Bell. Back to Carey again. Could have got one in the back from David Mensch. Again, back to Peter Bell. Swings it round the body. Delightfully done, and the mark taken by Shannon Graham. Tucked in the pocket, right on the boundary line. Centering kick, the pass, spearing it in towards full forward. The only one there, however, is Sanderson. Defends. Goes to the outer side, a little dangerous. Mooney tries to flick it out the back, got the call from the biscuit. Simon Arnott. And the mark taken by Corrigan. Kicked a goal earlier on in this quarter. Goes down towards Mooney on centre wing. It's been all right, Terry. How have you assessed him so far?
Just his mobility has been very, very good for Geelong. I think when they have sprints at full forward, they're a little bit predictable. Mooney will give them some versatility.
Long kick by McGrath down to full forward. No one able to take the mark cleanly. Burns is lurking. King has got dash. He was held. He didn't have the ball. The umpire says play on. And so they do. Fans don't like it. Robert Scott tumbles a high punt down towards the half-back line. But the mark, good mark too. Taken in that position. And the chance now to close the gap. Just 10 points the margin. Arnott has also been pretty impressive, Terry.
He's been very good. Both the ex-Sydney boys, Mooney and Arnott, have slotted well into the side.
Billy, yours. Billy, Peter Bell.
Now, yes, they've lost this. I think Peter Bell is going to get the resultant free kick. I don't know what transpired, but the Cats have lost it, and that was an opportunity gone begging. It's pushed back down towards Graham. He gives it out towards Kilpatrick. Shows some fancy dash, but gets caught from behind. And is pinged.
Back in. Let it go, guys. Let it go. Let it go.
So Welsh, who's kicked a couple of goals from the centre square, back towards centre half forward. McKernan was the target. Carey is lurking. He's going to run into the open goal. Bangs it through. Strange number for Wayne Carey, 40, but that was explained. To do with Mazda, 40th year and business. And as part of that, he's wearing the number 40 tonight, Wayne Carey.
But it hasn't altered his ability to be able to read the player. I think he must rub his hands with glee every time Corey McKernan wanders down into his area, because he knows that McKernan's going to be able to produce a contest in the air, giving care of the choice of having to go at the ball or roving at ground level.
Right, thanks.
There's the King on screen. There's Jason McCartney, who's just come off the ground. Kangaroos by 16 points. 55 plays 39. Just 4 minutes of action left in this second term. Johnny Longmire, beaten by Kilpatrick, who came over the top, inside 50. Pushed out was Mensch, that time by Hewitt. Cleaned up by Archer, who thumps the ball back to the edge of the centre square. North Melbourne's very good at getting terrific distance with their kicking. Here's Milburn, an exciting young player for the catch. Just needing a kind bounce. Was Hall, got it. Got plenty of support as well. Goes short. They're sharing the ball, the Cats. They're pretty small on the forward line. Riccardi's down there. Couldn't take it. Pike dispossessed. Riccardi recovers well. Tumbles the ball towards the goals, but Pickett happy enough to run it through.
Gary Ayres, Kevin, would be concerned about the last 5 minutes of both the first quarter and what he's seeing now in this second quarter. In the last 5 minutes of the first quarter, the Kangaroos kicked 3 goals to go to a 20-point lead at quarter time. They've kicked the last 2 of this particular quarter after Geelong got within 4 points after David Mensch's second goal. They really need to be able to keep it up for the entirety of the quarter.
Anthony Stevens back out on the ground. King again. Goes for big Carey and finds him. There is Anthony Stevens. McKernan looks over the middle. North at the moment answering any challenge that is put before them. Corrigan twists and turns, but it's not a well-directed kick. Chopped off by Glenn Archer. He's got a couple of options, can go wide, and does. Margin at the moment 15 points, and as Terry said, they did get as close as 4. Hewitt towards right half forward. Pike. Melbourne just is able to get his arm underneath him and just tap it subtly over the line.
Dipper mentioned earlier about the use of the interchange bench for North Melbourne. Young Shane Clayton's probably been on and off the bench 5 or 6 times. Must be a bit hard for a young fella to get used to that, being at a new club.
Well, probably difficult too to get any rhythm going, Aussie, wouldn't it?
Sure, Sandy.
Up and down like that. Here's Anthony Stevens. Has a look in towards the middle. That's okay. Finds Byron Pickett. Right in the centre of Waverly. Penetrating kick up towards half forward, but McGrath flies alone. Comes wide to Sanderson, who's on half back. Clint Bizzle has it. He's almost down to the wing. Bizzle is called to play on. He was flattened as he did. Blakey caught one too. He takes the mark. And John Blakey defends. Been very, very good for North Melbourne. So too is this man, Glenn Archer.
Kangaroos by 15 points as Archer back towards centre half forward. He was looking for McKernan. He was having a wrestle with Graham. He's given away the free kick. 55 plays 40. 2 goals to Scott Welsh and 2 to David Mensch. The only multiple goal kickers on the ground. There's Mighty Mick. He's got a loose player. Finds Anthony Stevens. Had a short spell on the interchange bench. A lot of trouble with Scholl. To centre half forward. Playing in front was Welsh. Thumped away. Grant has pounced on it. Fine young player. Damaging player. This is a beautiful looking kick. He was looking for Carey. The pack splits open. Carey's already kicked a great goal. Bell. Quick snap. He's got it.
Well, the last 3 goals of the game to the Kangaroos, and Wayne Carey has been involved in at least the last 2 of them. And what he shows here, Wayne Carey, is the spirit of just keeping the ball alive. You don't have to get out with your body. Committed there, and quickly the ball goes on to Bell. Just giving Bell that extra couple of metres there to be clear. Curls it round on the right foot, but imperative. Keep the ball going at all times.
Oh, gee, we saw some of the skills of the game in that passage of play.
Just quick hands, Sandy. That's what's important, to get the ball going. Don't hold it up with anything. Just get the ball out.
Excellent to see, and finished off by Peter Bell. We're in the last minute of this first half, over the head of Martin. Geelong probably desperate for a goal if they can, but David King dashes clear once again. Heads to the outer side, looking to set up another attack. Bell couldn't take the mark. Almost tried to push it on towards Harvey, who picks it up now off the Shannon Grant. Grant tumbles a left footer in towards full forward. McGrath defends, pushes the ball down in front. Sanderson is there. Graham is there. He's beautifully tackled, and he's been pinged. Great tackle.
Just to point out that last goal Peter Bell kicked, you may not have seen it on camera, but he's charged straight from the interchange bench, straight down the forward pocket, so it was almost like it was a set play.
Gary Durkay kicked 1 in the first quarter, did the former Docker, who's settled into his new home.
Sandy, Gary Durkay has lost up to 8 kilos, the boys tell me, down in North Melbourne. He's had a terrific pre-season and looks terrific tonight.
He looks pretty trim, doesn't he? He does, Dipper.
Well, you look trim too if you lost 8 kilos.
You're suggesting we should? Oh, it's been a good summer, Dipper. Here we go then. Durkay for his second. And the Kangaroos have the answers here at the moment, although Benny Graham's not happy.
No, and I think Benny Graham's got every reason not to be happy, because with this particular rule, you have to be given an opportunity to dispose of the ball. Here, Ben Graham grabs the ball. We see he takes it, and as soon as he takes it, he's caught there and slung down. His arm was locked. His left arm was locked. I'm not sure how the umpire expected Ben to get rid of that ball then. But Durkee, give him the tick. He was in there to tackle. He went hard at it, favoured him in the end, and he picks up his second goal.
6-4-40, plays 10-7-67. 27-point lead to the Kangaroos. They led by 20 points at quarter time. As the siren sounds to end a very good half of football for the Kangaroos. And the number of their stars just starting to find their feet as that game continued on in that second term. After the Cats kicked the first 3 goals of the second quarter, North Melbourne has hit back. And that man there on screen, Terry, Gary Durkee with 2 goals, a pretty impressive debut.
It is impressive, and that's where he just needs to be, in around amongst it. He'll pick up his couple of goals. Johnny Blakey, very good opening quarter, set it up for the Kangaroos with his run along with David King. Ronnie Burns there needs to get back in it. Jason Mooney has been a focal point at half forward for them, but really you'd have to give it to the Kangaroos at this stage. They kicked the last 3 goals of the first quarter, the last 4 of that quarter. Sandy, I think they're in control.
Yes, they steadied extremely well, didn't they? So at half-time, it is North Melbourne holding sway. 10-7. The Kangaroos leading Geelong 6-4. A break, more shortly from Waverly.
On this marvellous night to Waverly, a very good crowd in attendance for this first round match in the Ansett Australia Cup. An important match too, as clubs try and fill their coffers early on. The Kangaroos are leading 10-7-67 after Geelong kicked the first 3 goals of this second quarter. The Cats 6-4. So North Melbourne at the moment holding sway. Nice to welcome the chairman of the North Melbourne Football Club to our telecast, a man who knows this station pretty well, Ron Casey. Ron, welcome. I've got to ask you one question. We took a shot last year on that one day in September, and I reckon there was a tear coming out of your eye. Have you got over it?
Oh, yes. I mean, you know, I think I've got to say in honesty that it was only the worst weekend I've ever spent in sport. But apart from that, I mean, that's, you know, it happens, and you wear it, and you look forward, you put that behind you, and you look forward to trying to do better next year.
That's your personal viewpoint. How has the club gone about putting it behind them?
Well, I think that's pretty much the attitude of the club, certainly the attitude of the coach. I mean, he's agonised over it. The players have agonised over it. But it's behind us. You can't do anything about it. You can't change it. So what you've got to do now is do better next time. Simple as that. I've offered congratulations to Bob Hammond and the boys over there, and particularly to Malcolm Blight, who has some association.
Bit of sweet there.
Yeah, sure. But that's sport. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't do anything. You can't change it. So we look forward now to doing one step better this year.
And you've uncovered tonight what appears to be a couple of excitement machines. Gary Durkee appears to have slotted into this North lineup very well and looks trim and fit.
Well, I'm very pleased that he's been able to do that. Our advice from our scouts in Western Australia, and as you would understand, Sandy, recruiting players is a very important part, particularly when you're a successful club, because you've got to be able to get players who can enhance the future of the club, and you can't depend on the draft because you're so far down because you're successful. So it's very important. We had Winston last year who did so very well. We had Peter Bell the year before, and we hope that Durkee is going to do everything that's expected of him.
Well, let's see if we can get some supporters to continue to grow your membership hotline for those people. If you're not a member of the Kangaroos, here's your chance to right now by phoning 1-800 007 667. Jot that number down. And Ron, good to talk with you once again. I hope you have a satisfying and happy year.
Sandy, if I just make a point, I really want to make a point to our members that all of the publicity, and there's been a lot of media speculation, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do something else. Our situation is we're a national football team. We're based at Arden Street. We have an association or an agreement with the AFL to play 5 games in Sydney for the next 5 years. But basically we are a national team based at Arden Street, and it's important that they understand that. We're playing 13 games at the MCG. We have a situation where we have a 2-tier ticket, a membership ticket, at the ultimate level. They have 13 games at the MCG. Now, I can't be more positive about our association in Melbourne than to remind them that we've got 13 games at the MCG, 2 at Waverly, and this year we played, well, the previous season, we played 6 games interstate. We're going to play 7 this year. And except 5 of them will be in Sydney, 1 in Adelaide and 1 in Perth. I think it's a terrific deal, and we have done that to ensure that the Kangaroos proceed.
Good on you. Your time in television hasn't changed. Again, we're 5 minutes late. Ron Casey joined us there, the chairman of the Kangaroos, and great to have him with us also. And now let's join Scott Palmer of the Sunday Herald Sun, their offices there. Scotty, there's been some big news, and I'm sad to say none bigger than Sean Wren. What are the ramifications?
Well, it's going to dominate the news pages tomorrow, Sandy, and in Adelaide they're even forming a movement to ban the centre bounce ball-ups. They're looking for some excuses to why poor Wren went down last night, and they're looking at grasping at any straw. The players' union aren't in favour of it, Sandy, but you know, certainly the rubberised centre patch will go. There's no doubt about that.
Well, there's one here at Waverly too, so the one here at Waverly will go, and the one at Football Park will go.
Yes, definitely. Ian Collins and the league believe they're a legacy from the time when the surfaces of the ground were bad and umpires had trouble bouncing the ball. They will definitely go.
Scotty, one guy who's had his problems with knees and it's been well documented is Lee Walker of Collingwood. He's on the comeback trail. I believe he's going to have a chat with Sean.
I saw him today. He's going to ring Sean tomorrow to tell him that there is football life after a 3rd knee reconstruction. He's had 4. He played very well at centre half forward today. His 2 knee braces, not just one that Sean wore in '96, an identical copy. And I tell you what, he's going to use the 2 of them in his first game, Sandy, and it'll be approved on Tuesday afternoon.
And Scotty, just one other point, varying a little, I believe that the Players Association are looking at maybe sending the players back to school.
Well, they want to improve their social skills, Sandy, after some of these horror end-of-season trips. Some of the player managers and the clubs themselves believe that some of the young players deserve some etiquette training. And I tell you what, they need to behave a little bit better on planes, they say, in public places, and how to politely, Sandy, reject some of those free drink cards they get at the discos.
Just ring Scotty Palmer and he'll tell you exactly how to do it. Good on you, Scotty. Thanks for talking with us.
Sandy.
We most certainly will. Scott Palmer, the Sunday Herald Sun. A break and more shortly from Waverly. Back to Waverly. Geelong got as close as 4 points in that second quarter before the Kangaroos kicked clear once again and have opened up a 27-point lead at half-time. The Cats skipper is not with them out on the ground tonight. Gary Hocking, he's with us now, though. Buddha, welcome to you. Congratulations on the captaincy. Is it going to be any easier second time round?
Well, Sandy, it's a great honour to take the captaincy you know, from Lee Colwyn and have the fill-in role and just give some more direction and leadership to the guys on the field, and hopefully Lee will be back around August. And depending on how the team's going, if we're doing poorly, well, I'll hand it back over. But if the team's going all right, I'd like to continue. Yeah,
no
continue
chance.
it on. Yeah, it'd be great.
Did you find the pressure too great in '95? What was it?
95, I was injured, and yeah, look, a little bit of pressure. Maybe didn't have enough confidence, and maybe maturity as well, Sandy, I think. And looking back now, I should have kept at it, you know, stuck to it and worked through it. And I guess now I've learned from that, and hopefully I can do the job pretty well this year.
12th last year. I think the best you could do win-wise was probably 3 on the trot. You had a bad run when you lost 5 or 6 on the trot. The club's got to find some more consistency this year, doesn't it?
Yeah, certainly disappointing, and like losing key players last year, it forced some of the young kids to step up, and I mean that's great for the club, but certainly you do need the direction of the senior guys out on the field. But look, great for the kids to sort of come on, and hopefully they can mature a lot better this year for us.
Geelong always likes to pick up new members. There are plenty of people in the bush who I'm sure would love to join. So if you'd like to read out that number, you can get people on the phone now, Gary.
Yeah, that's right, Sandy. The membership hotline for the Cats membership is 1800 462 287. I really encourage everyone who supports and backs the Cats to get out there and buy a membership for the club.
Excellent, mate. Sounding like a true professional.
Thank you, Sandy.
Well done. Buddha, have a great season. As skipper of the Cats, we wish you well.
Thanks very much, Sandy.
Let's find out what's happening down in your rooms at the moment, because Richard Osborne is down there now. Ozzy?
Thanks, Sandy. The Geelong players are just about to come out of the rooms. They've been in with Ayresy the majority of the half-time break. Gary was fairly calm. One thing I did pick up on, though, he said we need to have a go, we need to play on, so expect a more attacking Geelong outfit in the second half. Just a quick update on Paul Lynch. It looks like it's a slight hamstring, but they're not that concerned. Only a little nick at this stage.
Good on you, Aussie. And let's hope it is only a little nick as far as Paul Lynch's hamstring is concerned. A break. The second half is coming away right here on 7. Big second half about to get underway. 27 points is the margin here at half-time. Multiple goal kickers. Scotty Welsh for the Kangaroos booted 2 in the first term. David Mensch booted 2 in the second term for the Cats. Great view, isn't it? The old Whitman's lightship's just been cruising around throughout the afternoon, made its way down here to Waverly. Such lovely conditions, decided to stay. It's great to have them. Well, actually, one man who's done a bit of this ballooning is Terry Wheeler. You have, haven't you?
Thank you, Sandy. Yes, we did the hot air balloon across the city.
Was it a worry upstairs? I mean,
no, while you're up there, very, very pleasant. Please, recommend it.
I love the terra firma myself, and I think KB might.
Well, he also got the players to jump out of a plane when he was coaching the Footscray side, as they were known in those days.
So heights was of no concern.
Lost KB. 6 players, but
don't you start either. All right, just about set to go in this second half. Good crowd in attendance, and umpire John Harvey just waiting to get things going. North just starting to show their ascendancy in the second half of that second quarter. Let's see what happens this time. Capuano is on. Kilpatrick unable to take it cleanly. Neither can Anderson. Picked up by Harvey. Kicks it up towards half forward. Carey was there, unable to take it cleanly, however. The hurried kick is by Melbourne, goes back towards centre wing. Geelong ideally want the first couple of goals if they're going to get back into this game. Daniel Lowther was under pressure, gives it towards King. He goes short and finds Clint Bizzle. Tucked on the boundary line is Bizzle. Centering kick, that's going to be okay. He's got Arnott running through half forward. Could have just about gone all the way, but elects to go short. The pass was on for Hall. He couldn't take it. Should be a North Melbourne free kick, or the advantage will be paid to Bell. There was certainly some hanging on. It will come back.
Well, that was very disappointing for Geelong. It was a good set up there, and the run through the middle of the ground from Simon Arnott went for Hall. Hall needs to take those under pressure, and then Lynch, I think it was, just hung on it, or Snell hung onto the tackle just too long there on Pickett.
Here's David King after Pickett brought it down towards centre wing. King to Carey.
Sandy, Peter McKenna, Durkay.
Yes, thank you, Pete. We've just noticed him. Durkay must have a problem. He was alone in the square. Now they're getting back on him, but he takes the mark. No one at one stage, Pete. You were watching him all the time. There was probably, no one within 30 or 40 metres of him.
Well, he was on his own, I'm not kidding, for about a minute and a bit, with no Geelong player picking him up. It was unbelievable. Not very often you see that in AFL football, and down it came to him, and he was on his own.
He lost so much weight no one could see him.
No, he's very trim and fit, and as Dipper discovered, he lost 8 kilos, Dipper.
8 kilos, Sandy.
But a very good pre-season. Oh, that's obviously what he wanted and what he got. It's going to be an acquisition, no doubt about that. So Durkay gets his third, and this is a promising debut, Terence.
Yes, it is. And as a coach, you're trying to assess that situation. You wonder, from a North Melbourne perspective, how can Gary Durkay get away like that when the play's up at half forward? He should be really looking towards his man, because Geelong can attack from that half back flank. But you just got to weigh it up sometimes and drop off the pace, and Gary Durkay has that ability to read the play just like that.
3 goals to Gary Durkay, and there's the bench down there, Dipper, for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, Kevin, Jason McCartney, a bit of a headache, obviously, after that hard hit. Anthony Stevens, Hewitt, Clayton Scholl and Longmire.
King out of the centre square, trapped by Bizzle, dispossessed, taken away by Pike. Don't argue, Hutton's his best as he pushed off. Here's a chance for Burns, centres the ball to the front of the goal square. Coming out in front is Mighty Mick, and he's got it. Not a head of hair between the two of them. Hall and Mick Martin. Ball is beautiful, taken by Archer.
Speaking of Kay Bartlett, you're a shocker tonight.
He's had a big game so far, Archer, along with King in defence. They've been so strong. McKernan got the ride, the fist away by Graham. Hands and knees, Bell did it well to Grant. He's all tied up by Scholl. And they'll ball it up on centre wing.
The pressure comes on the umpires with that piece there of Bell. Just the quickness with players will get the ball out from the contest. Is it a throw? Is it a handball? The umpires really have to work instinctively.
McKernan pushing and shoving with Graham, who plucks it out of the air, then kicks it back inside the centre square. And here's King.
Look at this.
Been a magnificent player. He's on the burst.
Go all
3
the way.
bounces. Runs to 50, ran his full 15 metres and goes bang. He's got it. What a goal.
Sensational. They can hurt, Terry.
Oh, you've just got to bottle that sort of stuff. I mean, there are not too many players in the competition who take off from half-back like David King and take off as quick as he does. He stretches out there. I think he probably ran a little bit further than what he wanted to, but he maintained the balance so that when he did hit his kicking stride, he had the direction. He was running straight at goal. There was no around the corner stuff. He will continue to bust up games when he runs down the centre of the ground like that. Opposition side somehow have got to go with him and stop him.
This is a dangerous margin now as far as Geelong is concerned. 39 points. They've got a free kick out of the square to be taken by King. But they need a couple of goals smartly. Mooney overruns it. Chance for North to clear through. Anderson pushes towards Pike. Ronnie Burns is there with him, but Pike finds the safety of the boundary line. A wry smile from the cool one, Martin Pike. Throw in on outer side. Let's go for the footy. You can hear the umpire saying. Mensch floats over the top, is well tackled. Does manage to get a kick of sorts. John Blakey, who made a wonderful start to the game, takes the mark on half-back. Opening up like a pretty well disciplined unit are the Kangaroos. Here's a chance now for Melbourne to get the hand pass over to Scholl. Scholl in turn gives it away to Mooney. He looks down towards the forward line. Snell was there, but so too is Pickett. And he cruises out of defence, does Byron Pickett. Up towards centre wing. 1-2 grabs. And the mark is taken by Capuano. Snell could be in trouble behind play. We'll keep an eye on him as that kick goes down towards McGrath. He's there with Carey, but Carey's got support, and that's what counts at the moment. It's Simpson. Simpson is centering kick in towards full forward. Danger lurks again as far as Geelong is concerned. Bounces back to Simpson. Loses it. Picked up by Scott. A high ball round the body. Up towards full forward. No mark taken. Tackled strongly was Lynch. He loses it. McKernan from the boundary line. In towards Carey. Around he goes. He plays on. He kicks for goal. And he puts it through. We're back in town.
Two goals to Wayne Carey, Terry.
It is. He's just really starting to open things up. We're going to 45, and I mean, North Melbourne, they always come into this competition ready to play, don't they? They've won it twice over the last 5 years, last year and then back in 1995. They're driven by a range of things, the Kangaroos or the North Melbourne Footy Club. One of them's money, and they make a few bob out of this competition.
And Richard Osborne is looking at the Geelong bench.
Thanks, KB. We've got Paul Lynch, Scott Bamford, Matthew Scarlett. David Wiskinski's just come on for his first run, replaced by Ronnie Burns. He's replaced. Justin Wood and Paul Lindsay.
Practicing for the Melbourne to Warrnambool, the bench. Winston Abraham still inside the centre square. Haven't seen much of Winston tonight. Bowled over. Grant, high tackle on Lowther. They'll ball it up on the edge of the centre square. Winston Abraham has certainly not been in the game tonight. He's a brilliant player. Macca's up in the stands.
Yes, Kevin, I was just thinking Ronnie Burns, I reckon he's at the crossroads. He's really got to start doing a lot more on that forward line. They rely on him heavily.
Yes, hasn't had a lot of the ball tonight, Ronnie Burns, just the 2 kicks, and he missed an easy goal in that second term as well. Mark Graham. Now he's a thumping kick. Mooney. Graham, here's Mooney now. That long lead out in front. Correction, I should have said Ben Graham before, as Pickett just chips it around the corner. Well trapped that time by Kilpatrick. King again. Along with Pike, who just shovels the ball out. Kicked off the ground by Anderson. Down towards centre half forward, intercepted by Riccardi. Won their best and fairest last year. Pumps it wide. This is a great kick. Running onto the ball is King. He's done most of the ruck work tonight. Finds Bizzle on 50, tries to drill it. He's looking for Hall, all tied up by Mighty Mick. And they'll ball it up 35 metres out from the Cats' goal.
How'd you like Mick as your bank manager? You'd get nothing. Not even a pie.
Capuano got his hands on the ball. King has been magnificent tonight. Oh, it's a wobbly old kick, kicked off the ground by Kilpatrick. Chance for Bizzle. It's across the face of goals. A wasted opportunity for the Cats. And through for a behind.
The Geelong forward line really just hasn't got a structure at the moment. Jason Mooney, he's not the stay-at-home centre-half forward who you kick to and you get rovers around a contest. He's more of a flanker who'll move around and create things. They haven't got a central target down there whatsoever, therefore messing around a lot with the ball, not being able to convert even when they have a great opportunity.
Archer and King bring it back towards half-back. Bizzle, well, the hand pass was just a fraction too high for Kilpatrick, and it's going to all come unstuck as Harvey comes sprinting away for North Melbourne. Looks towards Carey at centre wing. They had a player in front of him, and that's okay because it was his own man in Adam Simpson. Simpson towards half forward. Scholl does the shepherding. This is dangerous. Peter Bell snaps in towards goal, but he's away to the left and a behind goes on the ball. Admittedly, Geelong have a number out tonight. The Kangaroos, fairly strong lineup. Sanderson to bring it back into play. To the outer side. Kilpatrick at the back. He's going to have to be quick. Going to ground was Tristan Lynch. Last time we saw him was in a Brisbane Lions Guernsey. Over he goes to Benny Graham, off to Sanderson. Coming across half-back, but they're going to have to be quick. They're getting into awful trouble once again. Lynch gives the hand pass away to Bizzle. Bizzle looks down towards centre wing. Goes wide, but is going to be okay. But they need goals. 41 plays 86. A margin of 45 points.
Okay, this has occurred off the play, Sandy. Brad Scholl, as we can see, umpire John Harvey there indicating that Brad Scholl just deliberately pushed David King out of the play, even though they were 50 yards off the ball. Free kick to King.
Well, that could prove to be a very costly turnover. Hewitt's come onto the ground, gets it back from the hand pass. Well, somehow he got through that wall of players. Danger here. Bell in trouble, wobbles it round the body, gets it down to full forward. No one at home, however. Graham again defends to the outer side and again to Sanderson.
Finds Sanderson, who chips it short, looking for Lowther. Got the kind bounce he wanted. Comes away from the back edge of the centre square and goes wide and finds Bizzle, who's a very, very good young player. Pumps the ball back towards centre half forward. That's what they want. Mooney leading out from centre half forward. Can be an important player for the Cats. That's a great kick. And finds Scholl. Mooney's just showing enough, Terry, to tell us that he can be a good player for him. He's big, he's mobile, he's a lovely kick, can take a mark. There he is on screen. And in '96, he was a very important player for the Swans.
He was, and just the last couple of years, just lost a little bit of direction with the Swans, but down here will be a very valuable acquisition.
It's an important kick for the Cats. He's a magnificent kick as Scholl, and he squeezes it through. 2 goals to Brad Scholl. As the Cats try and claw their way back into the game. They trail 47-86.
Well, she's a long way back from here. That's Geelong's first goal since early in the second quarter, and in the meantime, the Kangaroos have kicked 7 goals. That's the play that Mooney is going to be able to give to this side. Just the ability to take it and then wheel around onto the left foot. If players can read it and read it well as Scholl did on that occasion, they'll get more opportunities in close at goal.
Brad Scholl breaks the Geelong drought, getting their 7th, but they're still looking down the barrel. Corrigan takes it from Kilpatrick. The hurried kick is by Lowther. High towards full forward. Another one here might make it interesting. But then again, this North defence is standing firm. Away comes Byron Pickett to the outer side. Anderson is there. Sanderson is there. The Cats through Wyszynski. Up towards Bizzle. Going to be interesting to see how Wyszynski fares tonight. Some big raps on him.
That's it, Kingy!
He gets his chance in the second half. Bizzle from 50 metres. No trouble with the distance. Good looking keeper, just drifting it across the face from behind.
Gary Ayres looking on there with Alan McConnell on his right-hand side. They've really got the job in front of them now. Inside this game, Geelong are working to win it, obviously, still, but then the coaches have to deal with the lead up to the home and away season and look at different ploys, different methods by which they can take into the home and away season. So there's a lot at stake here for coaches in these games.
Archer finds Harvey. He goes towards centre wing. A nice floating mark over the top by Peter Riccardi. Geelong getting or trying to get some rhythm going. Snell has a problem.
Yeah, that's cramped. That's the second time he's gone
Yeah, we
down
noticed
a
him
little bit earlier. Yes.
You're right.
And that's not a real encouraging sign for a young man coming off a pre-season.
So he gives it away to Kilpatrick. Delightful mover. Swings it in towards half forward. Mooney tried to soccer off the ground. This could almost be like a billiard shot. Pike, has he taken it over? No, he hasn't. Well, the kick came from Wojcinski. Not going to be paid. Hewitt couldn't take the mark, although I don't think Mick Martin helped him. Grant comes in over the top.
I think what that indicated, Sandy, that everyone's afraid of Mick Martin, even his teammates. So big Evan Hewitt just saw him coming out the side of his eyes and hoped that Mick had seen him standing.
Don't you think this is a free kick here to Lowther? There's those long arms there of Martin Pike.
Yes, the go-go gadget arms, KB.
Thought Lowther was a bit unfortunate not to get a free kick. There's a good mark to Scholl. Played his 20th game in the grand final. Had a banner for him tonight. Goes to the pocket.
Oh, great.
Scott takes it.
Well done by
But well
Carey.
shepherded also by Wayne Carey and pops it through. 2 goals to Robert Scott.
Well, I think the three of us, Sandy, are actual coaches there because we all acknowledge very good work there from Wayne Carey. Just jumping and just providing the screen here. You'll see he always knew that it was going to be Robert Scott's mark, and Wayne Carey does enough there. The hands are up and does enough to keep Tim McGrath out. And Scott, who's been very good coming off the bench, he came out to take on Brad Scholl, took Scholl out of the game, and now's out having a little bit of run around himself with his second goal.
92 plays 48 in favour of the Kangaroos. We can see Snell there getting those calf muscles rubbed. Twice he's cramped in the game so far. He's kicked the goal for the Cats as well. King's kick was smothered. McKernan outside. And now inside the centre square, and we find Scott. So 55, 60 metres out from goal, just pinpoints it and finds Carey.
And rightfully so. I mean, Wayne Carey gave Robert Scott the last goal. He should wax it back, I think.
Carey has kicked 2 goals, one in the second quarter and one in the third term.
There just seems to be too many forward options for North Melbourne at this stage.
They're really starting to move around, Aussie, aren't they, too? Pushing back into spaces.
Very well. Carey from 45 metres. He's pushed it right.
Just on Robert Scott on that goal before, he actually ran 35 metres just to find space, and obviously Carey saw him in the pocket there, and it's just the way North Melbourne play up forward.
Just over 6 minutes remaining in this third term. Geelong unable to bridge the gap on the Kangaroos at the moment. Sanderson. Abraham off. Clayton back on the ground. Mensch at the back. Call to play on. And they could turn this over because King just paddles it along before he finds a teammate in Anthony Stevens. Stevens plays on with a lightning hand pass. Goes again. Almost got one, but he's very quick, Anthony. David King close to the boundary line on that outer side. He's had a very good game. Carey's lurking at the back. Unable to take it. Arnott. Almost held. In fact, the umpire is going to confirm that. Umpire John Harvey. So the advantage paid. Tristan Lynch, you're in trouble. Runs out of room. Throw it in.
That's the difference between a good kick and a bad kick. Obviously, gave Tristan Lynch no chance of taking that mark, and the 2 North Melbourne players putting pressure on him.
Pike unable to affect the smother. Riccardi gets a short kick down towards half-back. It's slapped towards the line. Chopped off, however, by Simpson to keep it in play for North. The Stevens kick smothered by Scholl. Touched and play on, and so they do. Clayton's wearing 23 for North. Paddles it forward. Bizzle does some shepherding. Untidy work there at the moment. Now an opportunity for Lowther. Eventually gets clear for the Cats. Kicks up towards left half forward. An effective spoil at the back is very well done by Byron Pickett.
Just want to check with you. Is it February or is it September? North Melbourne is so drilled at the moment.
Tell you what, you're not wrong, Aussie. It's a delight, isn't it, to see these sort of skills being put on show at this time of the year. Fantastic to see. McKernan's kick partly smothered. Arnott in trouble. Tries to get it out. King and Mensch. Mensch gets a little toe poke, only as far as John Blakey. Back again towards Pickett, the disciplined Pickett. Kicks towards Martin Pike. It's over the line on the fall.
Charlie, right there, one there.
Pike to take it.
Clean your off, give it to him.
In the stands, one of the great full forwards of all time, Peter McKenna. Pete?
Yes, Sandy, every now and again they allow Carey to go back on his own. He's one out in the goal square at the moment with Tim McGrath. It'll be interesting to see if North can get it to him quickly.
They look pretty good at the moment, though, Pete. North, don't they?
Oh, well, they barnstorm the ball forward. Here's David King charging away. Carey's one out, so it's a real danger.
Oh, look at Harvey. What was that Gilbert O'Sullivan hit, Pete? You're a great music man. Alone again, naturally, wasn't it?
Yes, and this little Brent Harvey is a very, very good player. He's a great player in the under-18s, and he reads the play well. And you've got to put pressure on North's midfield. If you let them run hard at the ball and run loose, they've got such a good forward line, they'll beat anyone under those conditions. So the pressure has to be up around the centre.
Harvey kicked a goal in the first quarter. So he knows how to do it from this end of the ground. And does it pretty well. Brent Harvey has his second, and North are in cruise control, 15-9 to 7-6.
Yes, they are, Sandy, and they're really now starting to not only run into some very, very good form. I mean, their pre-season games were good, but this has been quite an impressive hit-out. Just as Richard Osborne said, from down on the boundary, you can really feel the intensity, and you really see the way in which North are moving the ball, that they are here and playing for keeps.
Five goals for the Kangaroos in this third term, just the one major for the Cats. Young Lindsay having a run for Geelong. Bell, ground level. They've got tremendous small players, North Melbourne, with Bell doing particularly well tonight. There's a great grab. Fantastic mark taken by Arnott, who's been a pretty impressive player in his debut game. 13 possessions and 5 marks, goes short, finds on the edge of the centre square Lowther. Started to make his mark last year for the Cats midfield with Liam Pickering out. Got his opportunity. Kicks the ball down. There's a thump away. Taken away by Bamford. Mooney just jogging along. Needed support. Anderson does well. Beats Kaczynski, and the ball just wobbles over the line.
Well, like he just said, Kevin, Simon Arnott, he really has found a niche. I mean, that was a very courageous mark pushing the ball, but he's also linked up with good running from behind the ball. I think both he and Jason Mooney have shown real positives in the move from Sydney to the Geelong here tonight.
Number 46 is Lindsay, who's on the field having a crack in the ruck for the Cats. And we see Anderson there getting accolades from his teammates. 99 plays 48. North Melbourne in control. Hewitt to do the ruck work against Lindsay. Some pushing and shoving, taken away magnificently by Simpson. Just wobbles the ball back where Carey hits the ball hard out in front. Bowls past Tristan Lynch, picked up by Scholl around the corner. Tough ask that time for Martin Pike. Arnott again picking up possessions back towards the centre wing. Kilpatrick, the high flyer, couldn't take it. Kaczynski thought he may have been held. They'll ball it up.
So David Wojcinski, just there from Gippsland under-19s, and played one game with the Geelong reserves last year, as most of the under-18 players do. It's part of the system that when the reserves want top-up players, they'll get them out of the VSFL under-18 competition. So he had a taste of it, and it really is looking quite at home here tonight. His pace from half-back and on the wings there with the Gippsland side last year really brought him under notice of the recruiting officers.
inside the last minute and a half of this third quarter. McKernan uses the body, just wobbles it down towards half forward. Geelong again defending through Lowther. McGrath back towards the middle. They desperately want a goal or two in this last minute and a half. Graham punt it long, but no, he goes short. Big pack of players out on that lead. Glenn Archer, great recovery. The hand pass a little loose initially. Now Peter Bell threads his way through the pack, goes to the other side of the ground. Good looking kick, and the mark is taken by Adam Simpson. Wants to play on and does. Back to Harvey. He's got McKernan loose on centre wing. Away goes Corey. Another one further down the ground. This is very, very dangerous indeed. Clayton for goal for North Melbourne. Welcome, Shane Clayton. Shane Clayton gets his first, originally from Brisbane, and a 7th round selection in the draft. That'll do his confidence the world of good.
Yeah, and it's very important that the young players in these games here do pick up some confidence. The young Shane Clayton gets on the end of a ball just tossed up by Corey McKernan, but has plenty of time, but then has the presence of mind just to settle down, take it coolly and quietly, slot it through for his first for the night.
Clayton on screen, his first goal tonight. Cats players certainly have to run harder. North Melbourne run very hard into that forward line, create opportunities. So under pressure, Wood outside the centre square. Chance for Scholl, kicked off the ground by Kilpatrick. Blakey. It's been a tower of strength along with Pickett. Continues to pick up possession. There's Bell. It's killing him across half back. Goes short. Ball taken over the line for a boundary thrown by Harvey. There are just 5 plays, 48.
KB, I was going to say, it's just more Kangaroo players up and playing well now than Geelong. The Geelong players have really started to fall off the pace. Good players earlier, Scholl and Hall, Mensch there in the second quarter, but they've all fallen away. And really, I can only pick up Simon Arnott at the moment, who's holding it together for them.
Harvey to Simpson sees the ball inside 50 for the Kangaroos as the siren sounds. A very good third term, a 6-goal quarter for North Melbourne to just the 1 solitary goal for the Cats. And Corey McKernan, who's been picking up possessions tonight, 14 possessions and 5 marks to Corey McKernan. Hasn't quite had his kicking boot on as Gary Ayres comes out of the coach's box. Brady Anderson on screen, getting a bit of attention from the trainer. And there's Ronnie Burns. Peter McKenna spoke about Ronnie Burns earlier, how he has to lift his game. Just the 2 kicks tonight for Ronnie Burns.
20 points the margin at quarter time, 27 at half time, 51 at 3/4 time as we take a break.
The Cats and the Roos.
13,514 people here tonight watching the Kangaroos doing it pretty well at the moment. And my maths is horrendous. It's 57 points the margin, not 51. 16-9 plays 7-6. Goal kickers. Gary Durkay leading the way for the Roos. A number of multiple kickers as well. And Scholl and Mensch, the leading goal kickers as far as the Cats are concerned. But North, the reigning champions in this competition, runners-up in the home and away, looking very good, gentlemen, early on this season as well.
Oh, there's no doubt about that, Sandy. I mean, they're really motivated to do well. Membership's always important to North Melbourne. In this competition, they really come out to play. And just tonight, even their big guns. I mean, Carey's been influential at the appropriate times. Corey McKernan, but a couple of David King has just been sensational across half-back for mine. Byron Pickett continues on very, very well right throughout.
Actually, you're talking about the importance at this time of the year, especially as far as membership is concerned. Here is the Ansett Membership Premiership. And you can see at the moment how your team is faring. We've given out the Kangaroos number. Let's hope you can get behind them tonight. They need your support. So too Geelong. So go to it as the race for that continues. Now there's the hotline number if you want to ring it. It's 1300 367 001. You register now, you're going to be eligible to win an Ansett supporter package. And it will be an absolute beauty. The winners, check your local newspapers. And you could be a big winner in the Ansett Membership Premiership as we go down to the boundary line.
Yeah, thanks, Sandy. More injury problems, Richard, for Geelong. I see Peter Riccardi with a torn thigh there, and and young Snell also off the ground. So not good news for Geelong.
No, it's been a pretty bad night for Geelong. Gary Ayres will be a little bit disappointed. They probably haven't played as bad as what the scoreboard shows, but just the turnovers, Dipper, it's really killed them tonight.
And obviously North Melbourne, very disciplined side, and Dennis Pagan spent a lot of time with his players as he normally does, but a very strong team, this North Melbourne.
Yeah, they've got the game sewn up, Dip.
Good on you, boys. Aussie and Dipper down there on the boundary line as we go into the final term. The winner of this match, and to all intents and purposes, will be the Kangaroos. We'll meet the winner of Melbourne and St Kilda, who are playing here at Waverly tomorrow night. That should be very, very interesting, with Tim Watson making his debut as a coach, and we certainly wish Tim all the very best. Here's Ring My Bell, and he does as he goes to the outer side. He finds Shane Clayton kicked a goal late in the third term, and one of the favourite sons at Arden Street is this man, John Longmire. Missed out last year. We'll be hoping to make amends this year, the horse, as he goes long to full forward. And the mark taken in that last line by Paul Lindsay. Not paid. Ooh. That won't help the young rookie.
No, he'd be disappointed with that, but there's big raps on young Paul Lindsay. Barry Round, who does the ruck work down there, thinks he's got a great degree of potential.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what unfolds. The Kilpatrick hand pass goes over the top. Lindsay's over the line with Carey once again. When is a mark and when is it not, Terry?
Yeah, well, he's in the front position, and there's a lot of hands on there, but if you're the front man and you bring it down, I think you have every right to claim it.
Lindsay originally from East Fremantle. I think McKernan had a bit of that from behind, Terry.
I go with the front boy, Kev.
Graham, wild hand pass taken by Pike, twisting and turning back to McKernan. Quick snap, he's off target. And again through for a behind. Been off target tonight, Corey McKernan. Missed a set shot just before half time. But is moving okay. Graham to bring the ball back into play. And we can see the set up there with the Channel 7 camera shot. Straight up the centre of the ground. He's looking for Lindsay. Thumped from behind by Pickett. Lowther. Crunched by Bell. Loose ball. Bamford. Hasn't been that prominent tonight. Caught by Pickett and decked. Lynch just runs smack bang into his opponent. So two Brisbane players making their debut tonight for the Cats. Ronnie Burns
been quiet
on the burst, been very quiet. Back to Bamford, who loves to run with the ball. Takes him on, runs the 50. What a great smother. Fantastic smother by Capuano. Mighty Mick at ground level. Mooney had it, then lost it. King under pressure. Good enough to find Pickett. Great presence of mind. Back to Capuano. Stands and delivers. And there's a good mark. Running with the fly of the ball by Wood. Just a couple of games last year. Kicked 4 goals in 1 game from the wing. Looked a promising player. Young players. The essence of success for the Cats. Mooney tried to slap it out. Taken away by Clayton. He's a very fine young player. Didn't quite get the opportunities in Brisbane, but there's always been big raps on him. Pike back to Bell. Continues to rack up possessions. Kicks down towards the half-forward line. Longmire was out in front, had the ball punched away. Durkay, again, couldn't quite get his boots to the ball. Simpson does. He's off target. And through for a behind.
I mentioned it a few times tonight, guys. Geelong, they just don't seem to have any system going to the forward line.
No. Well, I think we've got to remember that they've had a number of players injured, not playing. Gary Hocking, of course, who we saw at half-time. Johnny Barnes earlier tonight. Liam Pickering's out. Stoneham's out. Lee Colbert's out. Riccardi and Snell are off the field. James Rayleigh and Hamish Simpson, 2 of their better young players from last year, also not playing tonight. North Melbourne really only has Mark Roberts and Brett Allison. Of course, Brett Chandler broke a leg. So the Cats are a little bit undermanned tonight.
Yeah, Stoneham and Barnes, too, were busy in the reserves. David King is busy at the moment. Look at this. In towards full forward he goes. Longmire at the back, then got the front. Bell! Poster.
See, they're always a tight squeeze, those ones, but he made a good fist of that one, did Peter Bell. Not quite round far enough. There's Gary Hocking, who will lead Geelong throughout this season in the absence of Lee Colbert. Indeed, looking on quite anxiously there.
And we just saw one of the assistants down there with Geelong, Ross Smith, the former North Melbourne back pocket player, sitting next to Gary Hocking.
Yes, Ross is the assistant coach to Gary Ayres. Alan McConnell with the reserves. Capuano down towards the forward line once again. Harvey has it. Change there. Hall is off. King. $60 points the margin at the moment. Harvey has the chance to become equal leading goal kicker for the Kangaroos. He can join Durkay with 3. 40 metres out. Floating drop punt is going to be quite okay, I think. Three goals to Brent Harvey, and the Kangaroos cruise on.
Brought a smile to the face of Dennis Pagan too, Terry.
Yeah, I think everything's just sitting quite nicely for him at the moment, isn't it? So, I mean, young Harvey, he's been a very good player. I mean, he debuted back in '96 and has been quite a goal kicker for them as well. And so it's good to see little things going well for players. Confidence is very important coming out of these games.
I think that's one of the strengths of Brent Harvey. In fact, he is a goal kicker.
Yep.
Can pick up possessions around the ground. He's done that tonight, but he does kick goals. And as I said before, very important for a small man to kick goals. Still inside the centre square. The Cats have been very disappointing. Lindsay onto the left boot. Out in front is Mooney. Has the ball punched away that time by Archer. Pounced on by Scott. Back inside the centre square, and there's big Paul Lindsay. Well, you said he's got some big raps, and it's been caught is Wojcinski, so they pay the advantage, and Bell comes away on the edge of the centre square, just chips it out in front, and King's got it. King Carey goes wide with a handball, back to Bell. He's got 3 to beat. Caught one in the back from McGrath, picked up by Sanderson, chips the ball wide looking for Lowther. Cleverly just taps the ball out to himself. He's got 3 to beat, and that's pretty hard to do, particularly when one of them's Wayne Carey. Chips it around the corner. This time it's a poor kick. Kicks it to his opponent, McGrath. Trying for some rebound football. Back to Lowther. Only kicked the 1 goal since half-time. Standing his ground was Capuano. Got a fist on the ball. Kilpatrick has been handy tonight. Sanderson down from the half-back line. Outside of 50. Stands and delivers. Goes short. Finds Scholl. 13 possessions and 3 marks to Scholl. He's also kicked a couple of goals. Acting skipper tonight.
Well, again, Geelong just being forced into little chip kicks around the ground. This one's setting Scholl up. They really need it. He's the only goal scorer after half-time for them.
Got very close to the man on the mark. And Peter, you've got a comment behind the goals?
Yes, it's amazing. Mickey Martin, once again, he's had a player switched off him in Derek Hall, and big Stephen King has gone down to the square, but Martin non-stop, he just is relentless on his opposition. And Geelong are a much better side when Hall can play as a roving forward and not as a key position player, Kevin.
Pickett finds Blakey. And he goes long. Up towards Corey McKernan territory. Elected not to fly. Kilpatrick trying to find a little bit of space. Eventually does. Mensch gives it back to him. Kilpatrick looks into that forward zone once again. The kick's a fraction too high for Mooney. He has a look and then goes back and will contest a throw. Disappointing night for the Cats. Not so the Kangaroos. Quarter-final berth to be played by the Kangaroos. Will it be Melbourne or will it be St Kilda? We'll know tomorrow night. You'll see that game on 7 from 8:30 local time. McKernan again. With young Paul Lindsay wearing the 46 jumper. Socket back in towards the middle. An effective pickup by Wojcinski. All part of the learning process for him. Here's Bell off to Scott. Again, defending grandly. They come back into the middle. This is Adam Simpson. He looks towards half forward. Longmire comes steaming out. Gets assistance, and he needed it. Simpson's kick to half forwards are going to be okay, however. Durkay, he's booted 3, 1 in every term to date. He's going to be kicking from just outside 50. It'll test him. He's going to have a go. And in going for the extra few metres, he's pulled that away to the left. But I would imagine they'd be pretty pleased with him.
Yeah, and he's shown it also in the lead-up practice games. Just the last couple they've had, he's been a good contributor. There's a group of the Geelong players there, Liam Pickering on the right, Stoneham in the middle, and that is quite a group of players out of the side, and a lot of those are not too far away resuming.
Ronnie Burns has just left the field, Terry. It's pretty tough. We've talked about Ronnie Burns, but it's hard playing as a permanent forward pocket player all the time.
You need a contest to be able to work around, and that's what Geelong haven't been able to produce tonight, either at half forward or in the goal square. They haven't had a strong contesting player there for Ronnie to work around at the feeder.
Young Lindsay just trying to find his feet in the game. Capuano goes short to 50. Longmire hits the ball hard, gives it across to Harvey. Some fancy footwork. Great tackle by Lynch, not rewarded. And Durkay kicks a goal. 4 goals to Gary Durkay. But I'd like to see maybe Ronnie Burns played up as a rover, or maybe as a winger, maybe even out of a back pocket, just to try and get a bit of confidence without having players hanging off you all the time, too.
Yeah, I agree with that. So when you're locked away, so to speak, at half forward or forward pocket, and things aren't working with the side around you, you do need to be able to get and have a little bit of a clean out, a little bit of a run. But in terms of a clean out, Gary Durkay has been very good. 1 each quarter is a good return.
Geelong just 1 behind for the quarter to date. The Kangaroos have continued on their merry way with 2 goals for. Anthony Stevens tries to get it out of the middle. Bit of holding on. In fact, it was high. So the youngster will take it.
Back here, guys, back here.
Paul Lindsay, as Ronnie contemplates on the bench.
And back around again, back around. You're right now, give it to him.
Lindsay from the middle. Elects to just give it away to Sanderson. He kicks up towards half forward. Good kick, and the mark taken by Graham. Well, if he gets onto this, distance won't be a problem. But he just pokes it up towards full forward. Big pack of players. Fine mark taken by King. The biggest man in the pack. And he'll have a shot for his first goal for the night.
And really, this is a strategy that I'm sure Gary Ayres would like to be able to develop, and that is King getting down into the forward line. It's just then who does carry the ruck work. Tonight we're seeing Paul Lindsay, but he's only on the rookie list, so unless they put him on the senior list by taking a player off, he's ineligible for the home and away season. But King in the forward line could be a very dangerous proposition.
His kick for goal is good. He gets his first.
So King kicks one and King goes off. Carey off for the Kangaroos. He's done enough tonight. There's no doubt about that, and you can wrap him up in cotton wool and bring him out next time the Kangaroos run out onto the paddock. But Ben Graham, he's tried valiantly right throughout the night, but really hasn't been able to handle Corey McKernan. McKernan's mobility at ground level has really worried Ben Graham. He's down the forward line now. King, a worthy option in the forward line.
There's Wayne Carey as the Kangaroos lead by 66 points. Jason McCartney beside him. Got a heavy knock early in the game. 121 plays 55. Just over 8 minutes of action left. Capuano doing the ruck work. Of course, they can always play Mensch, and also got John Barnes to come into the ruck as well, Terry, in the premiership season, as McGrath has been paid.
Yeah, that's what they really need, don't they? Just that ability to be able to swing things around. King into the forward line, someone else into the ruck. We've got a couple of good young players. We've seen Paul Lindsay here tonight. Young Peter Street, a kid from the Tasmania under-18s, is now with Geelong as well. So there's players on the move, but whether they'll get up quick enough or not for the Cats this year, it's yet to be seen.
Anthony Stevens on screen, all tied up by Scholl. Just the 7 possessions tonight to Anthony Stevens. Winston Abraham really struggled tonight to get into the game. Just the 5 possessions. Capuano, hands on the ball first. Scott came off the interchange bench. Has been a very good player. There's a good strong mark. That's been taken by Bizzle. towards the end of last season was a pretty fine player for the Cats, one of their best. So they'll be hoping that he takes giant strides in 99. Here's Scarlett, youngster. His father played with the Cats. Goes short, back to Bizzle. Needs support. Haven't got anyone really to kick it to. Bamford. Transfer the play out towards the outer side of the ground. Archer read it well in front of Mooney. He got the bounce he wanted. Rockets the ball back, looking for Mensch in two minds. Bamford has ran hard from the half-back line. Another great smother by North Melbourne. They make it tough. Pickett's in there, throwing himself at the ball. Picked up by Stevens, who comes away. Takes a bounce, runs to the edge of the centre square, then bangs it long inside 50. Here's Longmire. That's a great style of play, Peter McKenna. That long kicking quickly into the forward line.
Yes, full forwards delight that one, Kevin. And of course, Johnny Longmire has been a terrific full forward over the years and would probably like to get back there as you see that long kick coming in and quickly. And that's what makes forwards when it comes to down very quickly, as you'd know, Kevin, because you used to swoop around the packs and grab them too.
Didn't take many marks.
Or handballs.
John Longmire. Kicked 98 goals in a season, winner of the John Coleman medal. Might be lacking a little bit of practice in front of the big sticks.
6 minutes remaining in this match. 10-7 the margin. In the Kangaroos' favour. Certainly looks pretty good. Fizzles away. Back towards the centre. Cruel bounce, although there was a bit of a push, says the umpire, and it's going to go against Evan Hewitt to be taken by Graham. Ben Graham floating it in towards the centre. Almost a dangerous one, but okay. Oh, there's courage shown by Pickett as he backed into the pack. He goes again, but loses it. Picked up smartly by Bamford. He snaps truly and kicks his first. Scotty Bamford, with his new club, gets his first goal for the night.
Well, Scott Bamford, he really could add something to the Geelong side. He's certainly not going to have anything in the strength department, but he could be able to add to some nip around the flanks and the wings. And here he is. He roses pretty well. And you just see the way he laid the ball down onto his left foot. Ensured that the lace was pointing towards the goal and then hit it so that it rolled nose over nose perfectly through. A well-executed goal.
122 plays 61. The Kangaroos have doubled the Cats' score. First goal to Scotty Bamford. Capuano out of the centre square. Martin Pike overruns the ball. McGrath has to kick the ball wide. Got the running Corrigan, who just chips it. Finds Lynch. At his third league club, started with the Tigers and played senior football with Brisbane. Woods down towards the half-forward line. Great pick up by Graham. Took it on the half volley. Mensch's hand pass didn't hit his target in Hall. Scott kicks the ball long out of defence and finds King. All tied up by Lynch. Just didn't hold him back long enough. Good enough to get the kick to Welsh, who's kicked 2 goals. Started at full forward, kicks the ball wide. He's going to reach the 50-metre line, and there's Johnny Longmire. A bit too tall for Bizzle. But it's a good sign for Johnny Longmire. He's missed out in 2 grand finals. And the mark's been taken by Stevens, who will run into the open goal and pops it through.
Well, everyone's getting in on the act now in terms of North Melbourne. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 goal scorers now, and that's a very good spread. We have Gary Durkay with his 4, Brent Harvey with a 3, and I've got David. No, I haven't. Not David King for 3. Johnny Longmire's underneath him at number 35, so 2 to King. But that's a very, very good spread. Whereas Geelong, they really haven't had anything that looks like. There's 2 of the key forwards there now sitting on the bench. Jason Mooney, he's worked hard enough in the game, but we've spoken about Ronnie Burns. A very quiet night for Ron.
Out of the middle, just over 4 minutes remaining. North cruising. Here's Pickett. Almost threw that away. Goes again, though. Look at that to affect the handball. He is an absolute terror. Kilpatrick under pressure, but has managed to push it forward. Lowther gets a hurry kick. It's going to be okay to Bamford. Tucked on the boundary line. Will he get round David King? It'll be a miracle man if he can. Hand pass comes clear towards Wood. Centering kick by Wood. In towards full forwarder. Mickey Martin comes steaming out. Look at this defence. Stevens will paddle it forward. Still going. Almost back down towards the centre. Needs support and is going to get it. There was a push in the back there.
And Durkee with his 4 goals, picking up kicks now on the half-back line.
And looking very good. Towards left half forward. McGrath tries to soccer off the ground. Geelong, well, really going through the motions now. That ball was touched, so play on has been the call. Here's Pickett, goes back towards centre wing, and the mark is taken by Brady Anderson. Into John Blakey. Had a wonderful start to the game. Best on ground in that first quarter. He's had a very good game in actual fact. This time the mark taken by Paul Lindsay.
Paul Lindsay's looked okay, particularly in this last quarter, Terry.
I think he's been most impressive there. He's a good size about him. He stands 198 centimetres, and the media guide has him at 100 kgs. I think he probably is not as heavy as that because he looks quite trim and athletic there. I think he does show something for them.
Reminds me of another former Geelong player, John Mossop, a bit.
Yes,
yes.
They might have to get him off the rookie list.
Yes, here's Harvey. Stevens. Just tucks it under his arm and off he goes. Flat-looking punt kick, however, is marked by Daniel Lowther.
Inside the centre square, 61 plays 128. The Kangaroos well in control. Good play again that time by Pickett. Got in front of Hall, backed up by Archers. A very strong back line for North Melbourne. They combined so well together. Lynch caught. Sanderson has to chip the ball wide and finds Bamford. The goal in this last term goes straight down towards centre half forward. He was looking for Mensch, had him in his sight. Stewart comes through, taken away by Blakey. 21 possessions and 6 marks, so he's had a big night. McKernan comes out. He's done some nice things as well. He's in good touch. Welsh has booted a couple of goals to McKernan. Needs to kick one on the run. Again, he has missed. No, he's got it at last. Well done. Not enough excitement from Corey. Got to get excited if you kick them, Terry.
You do have to get excited, but they're really just going through the motions here now. Corey McKernan, when he gets that big gate going here through half forward, he's a big, powerful man. And see him here, away, he strides away with the ball. And with those large strides, he's always going to maintain good balance. And when he gets onto his kicking, last step of his kick, he's always well positioned to go.
Corey McKernan becomes the 11th goal kicker for North Melbourne, as David King has a well-earned spell. 61 plays, a 134. This is turning out to be a good old-fashioned thrashing. Bamford, however, continues to work hard. So too does Pickett. Here is Bamford. Gets the hand pass over the top towards Wojcinski. Looks classy as he goes down towards the forward line. Scholl at the back with Robert Scott. Takes it over the line.
North just backed their judgment, Sandy. They've just run in waves all night. They've just got the foot speed to do it and also the skills, because one thing is running the lines, but if you turn the ball over, it can hurt you, and they've just got such good skills.
I think you summed it up earlier, Aussie, when you wonder whether it was February or August.
In song, aren't they, Sandy?
Yeah, very good at the moment, but early days. It'll be interesting to see what Melbourne and St Kilda produce tomorrow night. They're in the bottom half of this family tree as well. Back towards centre wing. In the closing couple of minutes, Abraham tries to push clear. Lynch was there also. McGrath for the Cats. Gets the hand pass away. Back to Lynch. Short. And he finds Justin Wood. Now Wood's on centre wing. And he'll be disappointed with that. A little bit of a how do you do behind play, but I think it's really Pike and McGrath just having a bit of a chat.
I was on the boundary line then, just watching these 3 Geelong players. Not one bit of talk then, and the 3 boys just got confused then.
Yes, we can see you down there on the interchange, Dipper, probably raring to get on. But time is against you, my friend. Lowther in over the top. Can't take it cleanly. Anthony Stevens, you'll always find him down there. And the umpire comes in and decides to take charge.
Certainly, it's interesting how our rugby league cousins get a good feel for football. The Melbourne Storm boys have taken a little bit of North Melbourne or Kangaroos in this 5-1 to win this pre-season competition. They're good judges of their footy just at the moment.
Well, they are the reigning champions, and
No, lock in, let's go,
to a number of clubs, victory here means a great deal, especially financially. And it's always been one of the, as they were then, North Melbourne's aims, to try and pick up a few extra coffers, and the Kangaroos will be hoping to make it back-to-back wins.
Hit the ground.
A lot of work to do before that, of course, but they look pretty well on song. And that young man pretty happy with proceedings. No need for that final ball up. It's all over. Very, very convincing victory to the Kangaroos. The final scoreline, 20 goals, 14, 134. Geelong, 9-7. 61, which makes that, what, a margin of 73 as we go down to the ground. Dippy with a man who started like there was no tomorrow tonight.
Absolute terrific start for you tonight, Johnny, playing the 33rd night game, and congratulations on that.
Yeah, look, it's a great honour to beat a guy on the like Chris Langford was such a legend of the game, and I'm very thrilled to get that record.
A terrific win by the boys. Ozzy mentioned before that, you know, it's February, not September.
Yeah, look, it's a fair win, but we always treat every game very seriously, and look, winning form's the best form we can have, and we stay in the competition, play on great grounds, and that's all we can ask for.
And you picked up a couple of nice players. Durkay tonight with 4 goals.
Yeah, Durkay very good up there. He's very skillful, and he really gives us something else up the forward line.
He's had a strong pre-season. He's lost a lot of weight since he's come over.
Yeah, lost a hell of a lot of weight and dropped right down his skin folds. He's been terrific.
Well played, mate, and we'll see you in the rooms.
Thanks, Dip.
Thank you, Dipper. Chatting there with John Blakey, who had a very good night here tonight. 10 kicks, 11 hand passes and 6 marks. I think he probably summed it up. It's just really business as usual for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, it's a very, very professional outfit. I mean, you look at their record. We've spoken about their 2 premierships at this night level, and they're always in there competitive. But just through Dennis Pagan's reign, that even in the home and away season, they've gone and finished 5th, 3rd, a 2nd, 3rd, a premiership, a 4th, and then 2nd again last year. It's runners-up. So they have got a real mindset and a real culture about what it is to be successful, and as each generation of new player come into the club, they get ingrained in that, and I think that's the sort of thing that's going to have a positive impact on players like Gary Durkay coming over from Fremantle, but then also young players like Shane Clayton after a stint at Fitzroy and Brisbane to come in and learn what it's really about. This club can continue on without any doubt for another couple of years. Good young players.
A club that certainly had that great tradition was Port Adelaide in the South Australian National Football League, where they won just about every second grand final there was. But that's what the young boys were brought in. They only knew winning. Yes. They knew nothing more.
And it is a real confidence, KB, isn't it? I mean, we go back even to Richmond with KB's time. There was some really strong feeling that all the time you always knew you were going to win a game.
Well, I think Peter McKenna will enjoy this because he loves a hit. And I think we're about to hear it.
Today. North Melbourne boys are hard to beat when they come out to play. So join in the chorus and sing it one and all. Join in the chorus, North Melbourne's on the ball. Good old North Melbourne, the champions you'll agree. North Melbourne will be premiers in 1999.
Charlie, well done on the 200th.
That was the long version, I think. We must have requested that, but nice to hear the boys. Peter McKenna is still up there in the stands. Pete, any comments that you've got to make after this very, very impressive win by the Kangaroos tonight?